time for us to get to our seats. Da, 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 da. All right. Hello.
I'm in my spot.
Yes. Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Kino Korner. The obligatory kaiju episode, because it won fairly last week. Or, well, this was 3 weeks ago.
It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't rigged at all.
It totally wasn't rigged at all.
Well, as said previously, things are going to be a little different format, so I guess we already kind of talked about stuff before this, but let's kind of jump right into it. Before we hop into the kaiju stuff, we got some trailers to talk about. Nope, not rigged. You're right, Griffin. It's not rigged at all. So there's not a lot of trailers, I think, because we talked about so many the last time, and I think going forward is probably only going to be like maybe 3 or 4, unless there's like a big week of reveals.
And January's gonna be a very slow month for us.
Oh, yeah.
January, February.
Oh, yeah. There might be some weeks where you just skip the trailer talk, but there was some that we missed the last time, and I just feel like I need to talk about it. Put that over there. There we go. Okay. But yeah, there's only really 5. I guess one I want to talk about only briefly. I guess we'll keep going in that playlist order. Bambi the Reckoning.
So can I just say,
yeah,
the CG in that trailer is any indication. I hope that's kind of the quality we're gonna get from then on,
right?
Because that wasn't a bad looking deer.
No, it wasn't.
You know,
I was expecting a puppet. Then I see this fucking trailer. I was like, well, why the fuck does this look
like,
good?
Oh. I guess they're actually putting that money they got to good use.
Yeah.
Because like the first that first Winnie the Pooh movie they did, it was not it.
No.
Like it's very like watching the fucking stuff on that. I thought it was like supposed to be like, oh, it's just a dude dressed up in a bear. No. They're supposed to be the actual animals. And that's it took me so. I was like, oh, this is a budget film. Yeah. I thought it was supposed to look. I thought it was just a dude dressed up to look like Winnie the Pooh going around murdering people. No, it's supposed to be an actual Winnie the Pooh.
It's a Winnie the Pooh.
It's a legit Winnie the Pooh, and he. Oh my gosh, no, it was very rough looking, and I don't know if this. Do you know did the reviews for the second one come out? Was the second movie any better, or?
I don't even know if the second movie was released, but it looks better. I know there's reactions at least to the trailer. I'm so behind on that.
It came out.
It really? Okay, shit.
Yeah, so it came out. March 26th is when it came out.
I could look that up real quick. Let's see. Winnie the Pooh Pooh.
I don't know if it looked better or not. Because I honestly didn't see any like trailers on that. I'm just aware of the film.
I watched the trailer and it looked better. It is a low bar, but the and Friends looked a lot better. It got a. I mean, the sequel got a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I mean,
okay,
it's not as bad.
I like this one review where someone goes, it was maybe too much of an upgrade from the original. I think it was. I was like, what are you saying? Are you saying it's too good?
That's what I went to when you were about the trailer for Bambi. I was kind of hoping, I know we talked about it last time, but I was kind of hoping it would be just like a guy in a deer suit, like the fucking SNL Bambi trailer with The Rock.
Oh my god, yes.
I was hoping for shit like that.
It should have been. If they knew what was right, they should have done it that way.
But yeah, with this trailer, I was like, well, damn, this actually looks relatively scary. Like... But god damn, I did kind of laugh at the beginning though. Just that line, "I killed a deer once." No shit, you're really.
No, the hunter killed a deer once. No way.
But like, I don't know if I'd see Bambi. I guess if that's the only trailer we get, and they just release the movie, which at this point is very fucking possible. I feel like they shadow drop Winnie the Pooh Blood Money too, but I'm still so on the fence of these movies. Like, but this trailer, like, why is it? Stop looking good. You're gonna make me want to see one or two of these. God damn it.
We're gonna have to now. I mean, it's a whole universe now.
The Poohniverse.
We have to watch everything in the Poohniverse. We have to get it.
God. Like, I don't. Like, my brain can't handle that with everything else we're gonna talk about today. I'll just move on to a better looking movie. Legitimately, The Wild Robot. Holy shit.
That looks like a cute movie. I'll be there for it.
It looks cute. I feel like they have the same style as animation as something like Spider-Verse, or actually more accurately, probably Puss in Boots 2. It looks kind of a little shaky. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like animation wise.
Yeah.
Oh, like the I call it the Ed, Edd n Eddy thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like CG
with how they animated stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, where it's like the lines are they're like squigglies. I'm sure there's an actual proper term for it. I could probably ask Brie what that if there's a proper term for it. But yeah, no.
But no, like, this movie looks good, and I just told you this, but I appreciate greatly that between Godzilla X Kong, which we'll talk about later, Samurai Jack, Primal, and now this, directors are just more open to just letting us see visual storytelling at play.
Yes.
And I think there's a right and a wrong way to do it. Again, I'll probably talk more about this when we talk about Godzilla X Kong later. But I kind of want this movie to have as little dialogue as possible and kind of follow suit with something like Primal, where it's just the robot. And I think that would be awesome. But it does have a big voice cast, so I don't know what it's going to be.
Oh, they're going to absolutely get their money's worth, because I did see the voice cast, and I would assume they'll probably have it to where maybe like the first 15 to 30 minutes might be purely visual. Mm-hmm. And then I want to say from there, then I guess they'll start going to like classic, like, CG movie territory.
The only thing
there's gonna be dialogue.
The only thing I don't want is I don't want the animals to talk. Like, I want these voices to be either the robots or actual people. I do not want the animals to talk. Don't go full kids movie. No, if we'll do that, like, it'll be a good time. I want to see another trailer, because I think I'll probably be watching The Wild Robot for like its cool storytelling. One that came out of
I'll be there for it.
Fucking nowhere. Like, I think I messaged you like right before or right after, but like out of fucking nowhere, Bad Boys Ride or Die.
So I still hadn't watched the one that came out beforehand, but I heard it was a really good like reboot ish or whatever. And yeah, no, I was super surprised when you sent me that the trailer for the new one, because I didn't know that movie did well enough to garner a sequel. But it looks like a fun time. The trailer looks fun.
Yeah, it looks fun. I'll be honest, I have only seen the first Bad Boys movie, and it's been so long ago, I don't remember shit about it.
Oh, like the OG one?
Yeah.
Oh, but see, me too.
But yeah, it's been so long, I don't remember. I remember enjoying it, but I don't remember particulars about it. And this one, I watched the trailer. I think the closest thing I could match it to tone, it feels more fitting here than some other movies, would be Fast and the Furious, or like more specifically recent Fast and the Furious,
Yes. Yeah, no, where it's just balls to the wall, goofy as fuck.
Yeah.
Knows what it is, so it's like, we can only go one direction, and it's to the fucking moon with how fucking crazy batshit it is.
Exactly. And then, oh god, but I lost my train of thought for a second. But no, like, it looks funny. Like, Will Smith, for all the shit you could say about him, is a good fucking actor. Like
he's just so charismatic.
Yeah, it's like
it's just whenever you're going to watch a film with him, and it's just like you can't help but be like, all right, he's going to be playing a likable person.
Yeah,
in the film, you know.
I think we should, as a society, separate the actor from their craft. And Will Smith, to me, is a person that he if you talk about Will Smith as a person, he probably has a bit of an ego, could be a bit of an asshole. But Will Smith, the actor, one of those talented fucking people.
Just don't talk about his wife, you know? It's simple. Just don't
talk
keep his
about
wife's
his
name out of your fucking mouth, dude. Like, that's all you got to do.
I make no promises, no. But but no, see, he's really fucking talented, and if I don't know if I'll see this, but if I do end up seeing this, I would want to watch the other Bad Boys movies first. And
me too, because it looks like there's going to be a lot of things you need to know about the characters.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And that's not really a bad thing. Like, this is a continuation. You want to be required viewing.
It'll just hit more.
Yeah, exactly.
Not necessarily like required viewing, but like it's very much it's not like the MCU or whatever.
Oh yeah.
You can probably go into it and be like, you can kind of guess like, oh, okay, well that's why this character is important. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, there's only like a handful of MCU movies and shows that you can watch disconnected from everything else. It's all as Griffith says, it's all about the lore.
The lore. We like the lore.
We do.
Of Bad Boys.
the
Bad Boys lore. The deep lore of Bad Boys.
All right, someone page film theory. We need to know about the hidden lore.
Yes.
Oh.
I need Matt Pat. Well, it's not Matt Pat anymore.
Oh yeah, the new guys.
We're gonna get Matt Pat. We're gonna get Matt Pat to come in for it.
Come out of retirement to talk about fucking Bad Boys.
The Bad Boys lore.
No, he's a meme at this point. If he comes into retirement, it's only going to be for Five Nights at Freddy's at this fucking point.
Oh, for sure.
But no, Bad Boys can be fun. Now, the last two movies, man, there's a lot to say about that. Like, at least for me, I allowed to say about one of them, Sting. Sting looks good. It looks fun. I'll get that out of the way now.
I like me big monster movies. I like the big bug that do big bad thing.
So
giant spider.
Yes. And the reason I think this one looks good, and I am so happy. It's hard for me to enjoy spider movies because thanks to Matt kind of putting this idea in my head, it kind of spiraled out of control. But I now firmly believe most movies about a giant spider are not scary. And it's because of one very simple thing that 99% of like giant spider movies get wrong.
It's not voiced by Chris Pratt.
Right. But no, it's that spiders do not make noise.
Yes.
It is a very simple concept. Any noise that comes from the spider is just from the scurrying, from their size. That's it. Like, that's why Sting looks so good. Any noise that comes from it sliding around, all like the creaking of its legs, that's it. It is a quiet predator. That's why like so many scenes are like so good. Like, sometimes you can excuse it. There, like you mentioned, I don't know if you want to talk about this later, but you mentioned last time Eight-Legged Freaks. I did. Yeah, I excuse that movie for the sounds from the spiders because it's a goddamn comedy.
Right? Yeah. No, it's like it's supposed to be goofy. Yeah. And I hadn't watched that movie in a hot minute, but you know, whenever you brought that, I was like, oh yeah, they did make noises in that movie.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a bad movie. Get it out of here. No.
It's not that it's a bad, like, spiders are allowed to make noise.
I mean, it's not a bad movie. Is it a bad movie? You know, not in the general idea. You know, it's a bad movie, but it's not a bad movie.
No, it's bad if you compare it to, like, there's better movies, but, like, there's also much worse movies. Like,
yes.
It's just not trying to be high cinema. It's just trying to be a dumb, fun spider movie. which it accomplishes tenfold. For God's sakes, there's a scene where a spider wrestles a fucking cat, and their imprints are in the wall and ceiling. It's like
it knows exactly what it is. It's just like you're either along for the ride or there's a door, essentially.
But vice versa to that, you have movies like Sting and or the countless number of things from like Sci-Fi or The Asylum that were like the spider will like roar, and as soon as that happens, it just takes me out of it. As soon as I hear just that me roar from a spider, it's like, yeah.
I'm a spider.
Yeah.
Why do you sound like fucking Sheen?
Fucking.
Hey Jimmy, look! I'm a spider.
I'm Ultra Spider. but no, like the part of the reason I want to talk about Sting specifically is because like the spider doesn't make noise, and this is the second movie in recent memory that did this. There's a movie that went forgotten, I think, which is it's so criminal, and it's not the movie I want to talk about today, but it's called Itsy Bitsy. Like that movie, it has
never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Okay, I look it up if you ever have the chance. I'm going to see if it's on streaming later, but I also have it on DVD. But it has a air quotes giant spider of the same size. The spider never makes noise, and there's actual scenes where you see the spider like in the background or just hanging around a tree, actually like hunting or stalking its prey or just watching. And that's so much more fucking scary to me than just a slightly big spider just going and scraping at the door, you know? Like, and this seems to be following that suit, where it's like, we're not gonna like go full ham and just giant spider. It's like, no, this is just a larger than normal spider that has no qualms about eating people. We're gonna put it in a fucking high rise wherever this takes place. Go. The horror should write itself.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that movie seems to be like there's sci-fi stuff in there, but it looks like it's going to attempt to be scary, and that makes me really happy. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I had to ramble about spider movies and like really picky. About
that's actually a really cool thing to bring up, and it's just like it's one of those things like what you're basically saying is like it should be a very simple. It's like just it's one of those things where they're sitting there overthinking things about an animal, right? And it's just like, no, like what are you doing? It's like, no, that's you could do something with that. Like, why are you trying to fix an issue that's not an issue?
Yeah,
let them be scary. Let them, be like you said, like fucking. Because you're right. Spiders don't make any fucking noises.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they do. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't know. I doubt it.
I don't know. The only spiders that make noises that I'm aware of are tarantulas, and like only some of them will hiss, and that's about it. But it's like very rare. Yeah, I know. There's like a tarantula that like if you threaten it, it'll.
It says right there. Spiders can't move the air to make noises like people do with their vocal cords. So they literally just can't. Yeah, you go, a spider, and then they fucking attack you. They can't do that.
Yeah. And for context,
there it is.
Yeah, and for context, like one of the scariest spiders in cinema to me is actually from The Fly. Just at the end, the scene at the end there where the guy's going, "Help me, help me," and it's not a good looking spider because it's fucking 50s sci-fi, but they make.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about the original one. I never saw the original one. So
it's kind of a spoiler, but I'm only like I have no qualms about mentioning this because the scene has been parroted and parodied to death. But when they realized that it wasn't just a case of the guys fusing, but of the fly and the dude fusing, but just the fly is in the guy's body, the guy was in the fly's body. They're in a park bench and they look down and they just see this tiny facsimile of the dude going, "Help me," just in a spider's web. And the spider just kind of goes up and just bites. There's no noise from the spider. There's the guy just screaming in agony and just because the spider's not being evil, it's just eating, and like that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
and that's all you have to do for a spider.
Purely off of just go purely off of fucking instinct.
Yeah, like I said, it's not like a super realistic looking spider. It's an old 50s prop, but just the idea that this guy is like stuck in a web and the spider's like, ooh, food. Like, that's all. It's a very simple. So many people overthink it. Like, if a spider is going to make noise, then either it's a comedy, or you need to like treat the movie like high sci-fi and just make it a fun time.
Yeah. There's a way to do it, and it feels like a lot of. I guess it's just one of those things where it's like it kind of comes down to studio mandates, I would assume.
Yeah.
In terms of, it's just like, oh, this doesn't make any sense. Yeah, because you don't watch fucking movies. You just finance them. You just shut up.
Yeah.
What do you know? It's a fucking giant spider movie. Shut up.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't need to be anything more.
Right.
like relax, man.
And I guess the last trailer to talk about before we do other stuff is Joker Folie à Deux. God, I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
You did a better job than I did, because I think that's the best way you could say it. Yeah.
I'm almost
Joker 2 musical.
Yeah. I'm almost weirded out by how good I think this looks.
I think it's gonna be a fun time. And I know Joaquin Phoenix said he was never going to do a sequel for it unless they did it right. And so obviously, with them coming out and being like, "Hey, we're gonna do a sequel, but what if we made it a musical?" And then he was like, "Go on." And then also getting Lady Gaga to play Harley Quinn is just like, "Oh, holy shit! Okay, yeah."
Like,
she's been doing a really good job acting recently, so I'll watch it.
Yeah, like
I feel like it's just crazy enough to work.
Yeah.
And I'm curious because apparently it's not going to be original songs; they're going to be covers of songs. So I'm wondering what songs they're going to use.
Yeah, that almost fits like his whole thing. I think what really won me over in the trailer is where he's running down the street and he sees like other people dressed as a Joker chasing him. And just that idea is like, oh, is this like just his imagination and insanity catching up to him, or are there actually people trying to chase after him because he started some shit he can't control?
Right.
That seems like the logical next step. Like that, this isn't just going to be them singing and escaping the asylum. This is literally going to be them just dealing with the consequences of the first movie in their own insane way. It's like, okay, I because the first Joker movie was fucking great. It is one of the best.
It was good.
Best like DC EU movies ever, I think. So I don't know if this one will be good, but I'm probably gonna go see it in theaters.
I'll see it. It looks like a very pretty movie.
Yes. Oh yeah.
A lot of the shots in that trailer looked fantastic.
Yes, 100%. There's not a lot. Yeah, for this one, there's not a lot I want to say about it. Like, it looks good. That it like. I'm almost weirded out by the fact that it looks good, because I wasn't sure if they should make a Joker sequel when I first heard the news, but here we are.
Yeah, here we are. We're just going to go ahead and do it, and we're going to make it interesting.
Yeah.
We're going to make it a musical.
We're going to make it a musical. Oh, right. But yeah, like I said, not a lot of trailers, but
I hope he sings Creep.
Yep.
If he doesn't, I'm just gonna walk out of the theater.
Oh God. Not a lot of trailers, but there is quite a bit of movie news, most of which came from Cinemacon. I guess one thing to get out of the way is just the Transformers stuff, because some of it's cool. With Transformers 1.
Oh, that's right. It wasn't just the one.
Yeah.
It was that one too. That's right. That's right.
There's two bits of news. One is Transformers 1. It seems to be an animated film, basically doing... It's kind of like the Transformers Cybertron games, where it's just the start of everything. It's basically the prelude to everything Transformers, like how Optimus became Prime, and then how Megatron became who he is, and just them before their rise to power and infamy. And
so we're going to see a lot of what's the home planet called? Cybertron.
And apparently Ron Perlman, I think, is Optimus.
Hey, yo!
I need to confirm that. Let's see.
Dude.
Transformers.
That's going to be fucking awesome.
1 casting. Oh no, not Ron Perlman. I am mixing up news. Ignore what I just said. Chris Hemsworth is Optimus.
Okay. Oh, Chris Hemsworth?
Yes.
Really?
Now,
okay.
Some of the casting though, like that one, I'm not sold on, but I think he can do it because, and I know why they cast him. MCU. I wish it were Ron Smoker.
Fair.
But I think he can, but I want to hear it first. I'm not as against it as some other roles. I just kind of want to hear what the voice sounds like in a trailer or something before I pass judgment. I
could always be proven wrong too. Yeah.
Yeah. The rest of the voices are all over the place. Like most of it's good. Keegan Michael Key is fucking Bumblebee.
Okay.
No notes.
I see what Bumblebee's gonna be.
No notes there.
Yeah.
They have some of the more like older characters that are more like deep in Transformers lore, like Sentinel Prime, which I guess was the first Prime, voiced by John Hamm.
Okay.
Like I could see that.
I like that. I can see that. Yeah.
There's Alpha Trion. I have no idea who Alpha Trion is, but I'm immediately excited to hear this person because it's Lawrence Fishburne.
I like Lawrence Fish. Yeah. Lawrence Fish. Why do I keep wanting to say Fishburne?
Lawrence Fishburne. Let's see.
Oh, he looks like a fucking mecha from. He looks like a Gundam.
Right.
his wings look like a cape, so it's kind of looks cool as shit.
I think he was like an original leader of Cybertron or something. Like I said, I don't know some details of the lore, looks like. So I want to go in kind of blind. I'm not the biggest Transformers lore guy. I just like seeing robots shoot each other.
Yeah. Oh, apparently he was originally played by George Takei.
Oh shit! All right.
If Google has anything to say.
Fuck. All right then.
Yeah.
There's a character.
So that's cool.
Yeah, there's a character called Alita, which I guess just token Transformers fembot, or maybe there's a deeper story. I don't fucking know. Voiced by Scarlett Johansson. I don't know who this character is, but Scarlett Johansson does good voice acting, which I now know from Sing. So, yeah. But the other character I do know, Megatron. I am so curious because this could go any way. Megatron is voiced by Brian Tyree Henry.
Okay, no, I'll be there for that. I like him. I like him in a lot of his stuff.
Yes.
I actually didn't know that he did Miles' father's voice.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, shit.
And I watched Bullet Train. And I didn't realize that was him.
Okay, I didn't know
that's the same actor. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm just immediately thinking of like the recent roles I've physically like seen him in, like The Eternals, Godzilla x Kong, Bullet Train.
And that's right. He wasn't Godzilla and Kong.
Yeah, he was the conspiracy dude.
That's right. Yeah, that was him.
And I'm just thinking about those roles and just like this guy is more of a comedian. He's Megatron. He seems like more of a Bumblebee, but all right. But now that you mentioned he's Miles' father in the Spider-Verse films, no, that clicks. I can see exactly why they'd want him as Megatron.
I think he can absolutely do it. My favorite thing about a lot of comedians is that like, I think you have to be a good actor, be a comedian.
Yes.
Because you need to know timing. You need to know, like, there's so much that goes into comedy that, like, I don't think a lot of people know or realize. And I think that I love seeing, like, one of my favorite things that's been happening recently is, like, comedians that going into, like, serious roles.
Yeah.
Like Barry. I don't know if you watched Barry with, what's his name? I can't ever fucking remember his name.
Wait, you mean Bernie?
No. Bill Hader.
Oh, okay. I was talking about like Bernie with Jack Black.
Bill Hader's so fucking good in that movie or in that show, and yeah, actually, him and Henry Winkler both a fucking Fonzie of all people. Some of their best stuff they've ever done.
Shit.
Also, apparently, Alita is Optimus Prime's girlfriend.
Oh,
so she's gonna have there's gonna be a serious role in that.
All right. So Thor and Black Widow are banging confirmed.
Dude, I hope we get to see some Transformer fucking happening.
Speaking of uncensored nudity, I did put it on the list, but did you see the thing Dr. Jones posted about the SpongeBob movie?
I did.
You know what?
I sure did.
I guarantee you, like, because there's that news about, for those who don't know, listening, they said that there will be nudity in the next SpongeBob movie, and I'm glad he posted the picture that he did, because I guarantee you, this is just a shit post, and the air quotes nudity that's going to happen is just SpongeBob without clothes. There's not going to be anything. It's just a fucking sponge. Just so we can say he didn't lie. We're not going to get anything graphic. It's fucking SpongeBob. But
I hope it's just balls.
Like that damn picture Michael said.
I hope it's just yes. I hope it's just like balls, and then like he has like the fucking holes in them too, and all that stuff.
God damn it! Why?
I think that'd be fucking hilarious.
Oh my gosh. we live in the world. But yeah, the Transformers
comes out December. Cool.
Yep. I want to see a trailer for that. Definitely something to talk about later. But the other bits of Transformers news is the announcement, air quotes, that there is going to be that crossover with Transformers G.I. Joe. I don't consider it new. I guess to those who haven't seen the movie, it isn't news. But in Transformers Rise of the Beasts, that was the teaser in that movie. That like, whoa, there's like Cobra and fucking G.I. Joe and all this shit. And so that kind of caught me off guard, but like I've known about that for months now. So it's a weird announcement. But I told you before this about where it can go. Yes. Hasbro has
get fucking weird.
It could get like option one is it's just those two. It's just those two, and it's just very possible. It's just going to be G.I. Joe and Transformers. But the current landscape of film is to do as many crossovers as possible. One thing that it's not impossible, but it's really hard to incorporate. But I think it can work to kind of balance the tone and keep it lighthearted but action packed. Is Power Rangers.
Well, okay. Hold on.
Hasbro has show rights. Toei has the Sentai right. The rights for Power Ranger, that was a whole thing. And there's a reason that like they're not doing Power Rangers movies. Like the rights are muddy. But even though Toei has most of the rights, Hasbro does have certain rights to Power Rangers. Like I said, it'd be difficult, but very possible. So like if they only did like one more, I think that's kind of a happy medium between like the giant robots and the soldiers. And it's still, you can kind of make it fit the tone, you know?
I hope they like just come out of nowhere like at the final battle of that movie. And just there's a fucking Megazord that just fucking comes out of nowhere and just starts wrecking shit.
Fucking a fucking Devastator comes down and the Megazord just runs in and RKOs him.
Yes. It's what I need. It's what I want.
Just let us have fun. Let me bash my toys together. Like it could work. The other option is to just do all of the non-serious Hasbro properties, like fucking My Little Pony and all that shit. Because there's a Transformers My Little Pony crossover in the comics. Do you know about that shit?
What?
It was a short-lived series. Like just did like a few issues just to set it and forget it. But I've seen so many covers of like fucking Pinkie Pie sitting on Optimus's shoulder or some shit. It was
2 American limited comic book series. My Little Pony Transformers: Friendship in Disguise is what it was called.
Yeah. God, I fucking love IDW, dude. I fucking love IDW for that. But like I said, like that's the kind of shit if they were going to expand it more, there's like one franchise they could add that would make sense. or they could just go balls to the fucking wall and just be kind of like Avengers style thing where Optimus Prime.
Oh, these are the guys that did the fucking Archie versus Predator.
Yeah.
Fucking. Oh my god, it all makes sense.
Dude, IDW is just the comic company is just like, all right, we're gonna do some weird shit, but we're gonna give all the fans exactly what they want.
See, that's what I want more of. Just give me more of that. It's like, hold on. We know what we're doing. Just let us cook, and we got you. Just trust me. It's goofy. It's fucking weird. And we got you though.
They're legitimately good series. Like they put a weird amount of care to explaining like why certain characters cross over and how the crossovers would work. Like they did fucking Power Rangers and versus Godzilla.
So it's Friendship Disguise is for the first 4.
Yeah.
And then the Magic of Cybertron is the next 4.
The Magic of Cybertron. That's gonna be the movie news like 2 years from now. It's like live action Magic of Cybertron movie. Fucking Selena Gomez is Pinkie Pie or some shit.
Dude, like maybe the real. God, I'm just thinking it just writes itself. Maybe the real Allspark was the friends we made along the way, you know?
Oh my god.
Like that has to be what happens, right? Like
yeah.
they like, you know, like fucking Megatron is just overwhelmed with just the purity of these ponies and just stands down. Him and Optimus Prime like hug, and then they start to rebuild their home. And then the ponies are like, ah, yes, my work here is done. And then they go off to Rule 34 land.
Starscream just starts bitching. No, Megatron, what are you doing? You're supposed to kill them. Megatron just fucking shoots Starscream while still hugging Optimus Prime. And then they just go back to hugging. It nominated for all the fucking Oscars. Oh my gosh. But,
I did not realize I needed that in my life. And here we are.
I mean, weird movies are happening. Like you mentioned earlier, the fucking Margot Robbie fucking Monopoly movie.
Yes, that's happening. She's going to be producing a Monopoly movie.
I'm really curious, but I want to know how we got here. Just first we're going to make the Barbie movie. It's going to be a poignant but really fun movie about growing up, finding your identity, and just everything. And like obviously the next step is fucking Monopoly.
Hate your friends. They all suck. Every single one of them.
If the whole movie is just a story of a bunch of kids playing Monopoly and just learning to hate each other, I'm here for that. Like what? What if that's what it is? It's actually just 4 people playing a board game, and the entire movie is shot like the fucking table from That 70s Show.
Oh my god! No, if they decide to go that way, we might have something.
Holy shit!
I don't know what they'll do. Like I think that's literally all they announced is that the Monopoly movie's happening.
Yeah.
But I also know, like Hasbro, after how well it did, Barbie, like Hasbro is just gonna start just.
Oh fuck! It's his now. Hasbro. So wait, is Monopoly gonna cross over into Transformers?
Yo,
Transformers
gonna fucking Hasbro cinematic universe.
Fucking Optimus Prime points a gun at Ken. You cannot pass go. You cannot collect $200.
Screams, cries. Obviously, everyone's coming back to play their characters too, so it's going to be amazing.
But Megatron, I wanted to be the thimble.
That's the first half hour of the movie is them fighting over what piece they get.
Oh my god!
Like if they're gonna do this movie, I want it to purely be like it's just a group of friends playing this game.
Yes, as Griffin.
And it
fucking Griffin. Yes. Megatron's got the jail. I, Starscream, am now owner of Park Place. God damn it.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to see if there's any other information, but that's apparently it, is that it's just happening.
Maybe like we're joking, but maybe that is it, and just the big Hasbro universe, and just Barbie Land is just a big government experiment by G.I. Joe.
Bro.
God.
This is getting too deep for me. We're not in that writer's room. We're doing way too much. We're probably doing more of an effort than these guys are doing in that writer's room right now. I'm going to be honest. Throwing out all these ideas.
I will say some even weirder shit. Let's step away from fucking Hasbro for a second. Griffin told me this news about, at Cinemacon, the Sonic 3 stuff. That they were given a teaser. We don't have the teaser yet. I want there to be a teaser, but the rumor.
I wish they would. I wish Sonic and Tails would tease me.
Go to jail. But anyway, but the big rumors is the story of Sonic 3 is going to follow the story from the Sonic 2 video game. Like, at least so it seems like that from the teaser people saw. And we're going to have more traditional looking just looks for characters, most notably Fat Eggman.
Fat Eggman!
Like
okay, so here's my thing. I want Jim Carrey to actually I want him to actually gain weight. I don't want him to wear a fat suit. I want him to do the Christian Bale thing. I want him to actually get as fat as it.
Oh my god, you're right.
I don't want him to wear a fat suit. I want him to genuinely gain the weight just to play this role. If this is potentially, because Jim Carrey said that he's going to retire.
Yes.
If this is potentially his Sonic 3 is going to be his final movie. 99% chance.
Yeah.
He needs to go all out.
I think this is going to be his. I think, knowing Jim Carrey, I think he's going to commit to his retirement. I think this is going to be his last big role, but he'll probably cameo from time to time just to do it to have fun.
Okay. Yeah, good point.
But no, I think you're right. Like, this is going to be his last big role, and he's a weird guy in all the best ways. So him doing this is just not out of the realm of possibility.
He's a funny fella.
I mean, people can look weird for the characters they play. Like, the one that weirds me out, it's not related to Sonic, but have you seen I think it's called like Iron Claw or some shit?
Is that the one with
like Zac Efron was like the wrestler?
Yeah, the wrestling one. Yeah, about the wrestler. My stepmom worked on that movie.
When you see Zac Efron, what he looks like in that damn movie, I didn't know it was Zac Efron until someone told me. Like, I just as Zac Efron just did some weird ass body toning and bodybuilding. To me, he looked like the He-Man from those Money Supermarket commercials.
Wow, he is almost unrecognizable.
Right? But yeah, like, to me, that's like the testament that actors can go ham just to look like a different person. But it's Jim Carrey would. He would put on weight to, like, I don't know if he could put on enough weight to not require a fat suit, but I think he would put on weight so a less noticeable one is required at the very least.
You're right. Huh.
But like I'm with you. I want this to be as seamless and fun as possible. But if they have to use a fat suit, I want it to be noticeable. I want it to be noticeable that it's a fat suit to the audience, but also nobody in the movie. I want Like maybe at one point it actually falls off and he has to put it back on and no one ever bats an eye to it. They just accept that he's fat now. Like,
yeah.
I think that would be hilarious. But yeah, Griffin, it won't be like...
those movies are good.
I don't want to trust your opinion on that. I don't think it'll be the exact story, but I've heard that people say it seems to be doing the broad strokes from Sonic 2. And again, I only have what people have said about it. I don't have any information from Cinemacon about it. It's just kind of there's not a lot of information. Most of it's rumors and just hearsay at this point.
Look, all I'm saying is, like, if I see some teenage girl get shot by the fucking government in the new Sonic movie, I'm standing up and cheering for...
Damn. Maria.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking get up and scream, yell Kino, and it be, escorted out of the theater.
Fucking
but
God damn it. I just all I want is to see Shadow the Hedgehog with an SMG and then beating a motherfucker with a stop sign. Yes, my only exposure to Shadow the Hedgehog is his 2006 Edgelord standalone game.
So have they confirmed, like, who's voicing him, or is
No.
that's still under wraps? Because I've seen, like,
there is no confirmation.
Jokes.
There's been jokes, but, like, I kind of want the man, the myth, the Morbius to voice him, just because it would get on Griffin's nerves.
You want fucking Jared Leto to voice him?
Just because it would get on Griffin's nerves. But
oh my god. Do you want to get the Chaos Emeralds and him go, it's Morbin time, and then you fucking pulls out the gat and blows Jim Carrey's brains out?
Fucking hell, yeah. But no, like, if I were to have my pick, it's a bit out there, Keanu Reeves.
Okay. No, he could do. I could see him doing that. I think it actually would be perfect. No, I'll be there for that. I think Keanu Reeves should do it.
Yeah,
or Chris Pratt. I'm kidding. I will not will that into existence. I would not.
No, please. Like, he did fine as Mario. I'm not sold on him as Garfield.
Garfleaf.
Is it?
I think Samuel L. Jackson should have actually been Garfield.
Is it that hard to, like, leave Garfield as just a monotone, bored-sounding cat? It's not that hard of a personality to replicate.
I'm sorry, but say what you want about the fucking 2 Garfield movies that came out before this.
The Bill
Murray was great as
no,
Garfield.
I agree, but that's the thing. He was great as Garfield because he just has that annoyed, bored, lazy monotone just as a person. He was great casting for Garfield. Chris Pratt is too much energy for that lazy ass fucking cat.
For Garfield,
yeah,
he's got too much energy for Garfield.
Like, honestly, I think he actually should have voiced John. If anybody in the movie.
I could see that a lot better.
Yeah,
definitely. I agree with you.
No, it's like I think Chris Pratt, he did good as Mario, but I think real quick we need to get off the put Chris Pratt in everything train and to start picking and choosing his battles. But yeah, Sonic 3 news. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles news about fucking The Last Ronin.
I really hope that they have full frontal in that.
Same.
If they do. I mean, otherwise, watch it be like the most PG-13 type movie, and then just suddenly the Ronin drops dong in the fucking
like,
and that's the only reason it's R-rated.
I think it's gonna be R-rated because, like, I won't spoil it.
Didn't they confirm that it's gonna be like that? It is very much gonna be an R-rated.
Yes, it is confirmed that it's going to be an R-rated movie, and the I don't know if he's doing producing or directing, but the guy who Walter Hamada is producing it, and he's the guy who did the productions for the recent It movies and The Conjuring and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
So, but what I would want. So I haven't read The Last Ronin. I don't know the small details of the story. And part of that is because the big reveal was spoiled to me long before I got the chance to. And I will not be spoiling that here. But
right, gotcha. Yeah, I already know.
So yeah, you know, and so you know, like part of the intrigue of the story is like who is the last Ronin, like who exactly is this?
Yeah.
And apparently it's structured in such a way where you do figure out before the end, but like as you reveal it, it's just like a slow burn, and it's like one of the major selling points of that story.
Yeah.
And
it's Master Splinter, by the way.
Yes, but surprise, it's April O'Neil. But
she's wearing a very expensive frog suit, turtle suit.
No, she's a Battletoad.
Yes.
God. But no, like apparently even if you know that, it's a good story, and I acknowledge that, but I just never had the will to start that knowing what it, like the major like spoiler and twist of the story. It's like going into Planet of the Apes knowing the twist at the end. Like it's still a good movie, but like one of the big gut punches, one of the big like reveals, you'll never be able to fully experience it.
No.
So like I'm excited for the game. I'm excited for the movie. I'm probably gonna watch the movie, play the game. But like, and I guess if I were to give my hope for why it's R-rated, it's just a lot of blood. I almost want it to look like OG Ninja Turtles comics or like Sin City. That kind of just
yeah.
Like,
those were really gritty looking.
Yeah.
Like I got seeing like the old TMNT comics. I really like the look of it though. Dude, if they decide to go that direction and they just go fucking full Sin City with that, it's just purely black and white. Hell yes.
Or even like black and red, because I'm looking at images from the thing. Like the big colors are like black and red, and like. Or actually, here's a fun trick, because apparently it's going to be animated. You know what they did with the Batman the Animated Series? How they drew everything on black paper?
I actually didn't know that, but what's up?
What if they do that for Last Ronin, just to replicate just the dark dreariness of this story? Is just use a black like layout instead of the white that is traditional to make it more of a dreary looking dark noir story.
I hope they put that much effort into that, because that shit's fucking cool.
Yeah. I said that there's a lot of potential here.
I try not to be cynical about that kind of stuff, but it's like I want them to do that, but like, will they do that? It's kind of one of those things.
Yeah.
But I always like to hope.
Yeah. It's unclear and unlikely if they even will, but and I guess last bit of news before we talk about other things, and I totally picked this last before we really kick off everything else, is the renewal for everything related to the MonsterVerse. Monarch Legacy of Monsters getting renewed for season 2, and which if you haven't watched it, great fucking series. Great fucking series. Like get a free.
I'll watch anything with Kurt Russell.
Oh yeah, don't pay for Apple TV because it's a fucking ripoff. Like if I'm paying for a subscription, I shouldn't have to pay to watch a movie, and on top of that, it's so fucking stupid. But just if you can get just a free week, just a trial, just binge the show, because it's really fucking worth it. And I'm probably gonna when it all comes out again, I'm probably gonna see if I can get another trial and just binge season 2. But they also mentioned there's going to be other spin-offs. I'm excited, and I'm partially joking when I say this, but that character from Godzilla X Kong, Trapper, he mentioned he was like a kaiju doctor. Just give me a fucking Dr. Pol style show about his misadventures, just treating giant monsters and shit.
Yeah, dude, I'll watch that shit fucking day one.
Hell yeah,
it's like a little anthology, because in the movie they confirmed that like there were like all those multiple kaiju across the fucking world.
Mm-hmm.
So like obviously he's just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do like just give me. Did he say in the film that he was like the Dr. Dolittle?
He did. He did.
Didn't he make a line about that? I was like, oh shit, I was about to say that. Yeah, man, just make it a little, not really anthology, but like, just every episode's literally a monster of the week.
Mm-hmm. Because that is I think, a legitimate criticism the MonsterVerse as a whole have right now is they've created this world where they introduce all these new and unique monsters, and some of them they showed, but they're not really showing it. Like, there was a lot of it in Godzilla X Kong. Like, we got to, and I guess this isn't a spoiler because it's been talked about to death and a lot of spoiler bands have lifted, but Tiamat and Skila, who's in the trailer, we get to see them. But there's also other kaiju from recent movies, like fucking Behemoth. I want to see more of Behemoth, damn it. The dude with the big ass tusks. You know, like,
which one?
It's like that gorilla elephant looking dude with the big old tusks.
Let me look. Oh!
Yeah.
Yeah!
Like I said, I want to see more of him, but then there's also just this large list of kaiju that they name dropped. Like, in King of the Monsters, there's like these shots where you get to see like the full list of kaiju, and some of them is just references to stuff like Pacific Rim and the Gorgo and shit. But there's a whole bunch of unique ones that even continue to be name dropped and placed where they are, and we still don't know what the fuck they look like. It's like, let us see this world. Let us actually experience these monsters. And like,
because obviously you have something going on here that's going on behind the scenes, and we'd like to see more of that.
Yeah, and at this point now with Godzilla X Kong, like, not a whole lot of it is secret, and kaiju attacks are just a normal occurrence apparently. So let's just, I mean, there's a goddamn kaiju doctor. Let's see the kaiju. Some of them are a little feisty. Some of them, I want to see Trapper go full Steve Irwin. Looky here, it's Rodan. He likes to swim in the lava and sleep most of the day. I'm gonna stick my thumb up its ass.
Rock, you're really pissing over there. It's like running across lava.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
So I actually didn't know, I guess it's not necessarily spoilers, but I didn't know that the ice kaiju in that movie was an original creation for that film.
Mostly. It is, and I guess we're kind of I'll shift the title card here now because I guess this will blend a bit. Moon Reese feels like to talk, because it's impossible to talk about this news without talking about Godzilla X Kong. But Shimo is mostly original.
Okay. Is she based off another?
She is based off of an unused idea, and she pulls hints from non-Godzilla monsters from other, like, just Toho properties in Japan. There's nothing one-to-one, but conceptually it pulls from just some unused things and whatnot, and they're like, let's take all this stuff that could go really cool together and just make something awesome. It's a mostly, almost completely original kaiju, but it's based off of other things that weren't fully realized, which I think is just as, if not more, cool, personally.
That is cool. No, I like that. I would like more things to do, more IPs actually take advantage of that. Because there's so much, like, concepts that, like, just go away.
Yeah.
And that's really cool to know that they kind of took some concepts and they were like, oh, we'll just roll with it. We'll make an original thing. Why not?
Yeah. And I know there's, in the groups I'm in, there's so many people that are like, oh, clearly this is based off of this. And they'll pull just a random fucking kaiju from an Ultraman series. And like, oh, this is clearly Shimo before Shimo was a thing. It's like, no, it's fucking not. No, it's fucking not. You know how many kaiju from all of those series just have an ice breath or some other bullshit, and that's all you're basing it off of? It pulls little things from it, but that's about it. Like, everything Shimo, okay. You look at Shimo and you see, oh, this is just Godzilla but ice. Like, not just from a conceptual level. Like, this looks like the same species, but in a different environment. Mm-hmm. So
Okay.
Or to use Pokemon terms, oh, this is a fucking regional variant. But
yeah, it's like pulling up the Pokemon thing.
Yeah. Good to see the fucking the Pokemon sort like Sun and Moon. Like, here's Godzilla. This is Alolan Godzilla or some shit.
Yo, Alolan Godzilla and shiny Godzilla.
Yes. Oh my god. But and before we go into super details about Godzilla X Kong, like I talked about this with Griffin recently, and knowing that they're going to have spin-offs, that's basically a soft confirmation the MonsterVerse is going to continue. Like it is going to continue. Yeah. I firmly believe that at some point it should end, but like if I were to have my way, like I would say like get season 2 for Legacy of Monsters, get like 1 or 2 just quick shows that really focus on the actual monsters themselves, because at this point that's what we want. But if you were to do movies, how I would do it is there should be 3 more movies in the MonsterVerse, and the last one would be just the conclusion, the end. 1 more that is just a solo Godzilla movie, like Godzilla 3. 1 more for Kong, and then 1 more that's like that would close off the Godzilla X Kong trilogy, and the third Godzilla X Kong movie would be just the end of it all. And
how long do you think it would take them to do that? In your opinion?
I don't know how much is planned, but if they like start now, I would say finished by 2027 or 2027, 2028.
Oh, like this decade? Okay.
Like they could, but like I said, that would be like a start now and just go in with a plan kind of thing. And I'm trying to think of like what is established already in the MonsterVerse of how they could proceed. Some of it to me, it's just straight up like, oh, this is easy to explain. And Adam Wingard has mentioned that if he were to do another Godzilla movie, he wants to give Godzilla the same treatment that Kong got in Godzilla X Kong, with all that visual storytelling, which is good. And a quick side note, I know I mentioned earlier, I love that there is more visual storytelling becoming globally accepted, and there is a very vocal minority of Godzilla fans that we would just want a Godzilla movie where it's just Godzilla with no human characters. I want to ground that expectation a bit. I think the entire reason things like Primal, the Wild Robot, and Kong in Godzilla X Kong work so well with the visual storytelling is because they have some readable emotion to latch onto, and they have human-like qualities. You could look at Kong in Godzilla X Kong, and you knew roughly what he was thinking, how he was reacting, and that's all you needed. It worked great. That is...
Oh, I loved his scenes.
Yes, they worked...
with just him,
yeah,
and all that stuff. I agree. They worked very well. I loved all the non-dialogue stuff, and that is just like, I don't need to know what they're saying. Like, I could see with their actions and and all that stuff.
Yes.
What they're thinking of doing and all that, which it honestly made a lot of the scenes that happened even more fucking hilarious.
Yes. Like, fucking...
Holy fuck. the amount of stuff. I think I laughed way more during his scenes than I did like almost anything else in that movie.
Yes.
Because it's like...
100%.
Because for one, a lot of the memes on Twitter came out.
Yeah.
And so I had those in my head, but at the same time, like, it was just so many of the...
Once you have the context, it's almost funnier.
It was even funnier, dude. It was fucking hilarious. Like the fucking... the monkey comes up to him and starts like yelling at him, all get all up in his face and all. He fucking punches him. Like I already thought that was hilarious gif because like people like took that and like sped it up, and they would use this like, oh, when the fucking like police officer tells me I can't skate in the fucking or whatever, and they post that gif, and then like actually watching it and having the context is even more hilarious because I didn't know that the fucking monkey makes like
yes. Yeah.
He punches him and he gets knocked. He's like, I fucking lost my shit during that scene.
It was great. It was like things were funny. It was great. But my ultimate point is like those scenes work with Kong because they have these emotions you can easily read. But with Godzilla, it's not that you can't do it, but it is much harder to latch on to the emotions of a giant fucking lizard. That's not...
Yeah, because he's a gorilla. And,
yes.
you know, gorillas can show much more range of emotions, whereas I don't think we can see much of that with a lizard. I mean, unless you're doing a really good job. Like I think if with a good writer, you could do it.
Yeah, it's not impossible. Like, I think even the MonsterVerse has done it before. I don't know if you remember in King of the Monsters where, like you saw Godzilla King of the Monsters, right?
I'm sorry, which one?
Godzilla King of the Monsters, the second one in the MonsterVerse, where they fight Ghidorah.
God. Yes, I did. Okay. And like that's the only thing I remember is the fight with Ghidorah.
Yeah. But there is a scene where there's some good visual storytelling in that from Godzilla. It's where Godzilla's down in basically what we now know is the entrance to the Hollow Earth, and he's like underwater, and they go to where he is, and he's basically just laying down, just trying to recoup energy and shit. And Serizawa goes up to him. Everything, even though Serizawa has a bit of lines of dialogue, everything from Godzilla is just in his eyes, just looking down and just like you could see how just tired he is and everything they do. And yeah, that's exactly what I'm about to say. Like you can do it with Godzilla, but because he doesn't have the most you could do with his mouth and head movement is just like a devious smile. That's really the most you could do. Like is everything is in the eyes. So I was like, you can do it with Godzilla, but it's much harder. And I don't think we can. I think we as a fan base need to accept that we can't really. And I'm fine with being wrong about this, but we can't really have a movie that's just Godzilla with no dialogue going around. Like we could do it as a short, but like that specific character, it is such a hard and daunting task. A feature length movie, but if they were to have another solo Godzilla adventure, and they had a few scenes like that with just him just kind of being the tired grandpa of the fucking world, just dealing with all this shit, I think it can work. But we need to, I guess, temper our expectations a bit that there's only going to be a few scenes. And I want there to be a few scenes like that. But, and to go back to my initial point, is like, if they were going to do a third Godzilla movie, I think they have the framework for a third Godzilla movie right now. Slight spoiler for Godzilla X Kong is he does kill one kaiju, Tiamat. Slight spoiler.
My buddy, when we went to go see that, was kind of upset that happened.
Is it because like we never got to
see... Yeah.
I'm with you, and that's part of the again. And that's why that critique about how much we see of the monsters, I think, is completely valid. But now I'm thinking of the stat where I was like, oh, okay, so Tiamat, that was his territory, which is like one of the biggest just energy funnels in the world, and now that Godzilla ain't using it, open fucking house. Godzilla 3, all of the kaiju are trying to basically fight for the good seat at the buffet, and Godzilla's trying to get them all in line. Like, it'd just be another just monster battle royale, but that'd be a great excuse to focus on Godzilla and other kaiju, in my opinion. And really, and aside from that, like if they were gonna do the final of the movies, and people have joked about it, but the biggest thing they could do is destroy all monsters. Just a big last ditch effort to just kill all of the kaiju.
Yeah.
And
which would also cause like a whole thing with that too.
Like we know from the dialogue spurts in Godzilla X Kong that obviously the government wants to kill them all, and like it's like, oh, who doesn't want to kill the kaiju and get rich or whatever. and all of a sudden, and now it's just like, oh, if one kaiju dies, everyone just starts moving in, rampaging cities and whatnot. Why wouldn't there be like a secret government funded shit to rebuild Mechagodzilla and maybe some other things to just start going a kaiju extermination spree? Like that would be my idea for the last movie.
Mm-hmm.
But and for the third Kong movie, it could happen simultaneously as far as the time frame wise. But while everything's going on the surface of Godzilla, just basically just keeping everyone in line, maybe we explore more of the Iwi stuff with Kong, and his second movie is just Kong and Zuko learning about another Iwi tribe, and it's not just the Iwis from Godzilla x Kong that worship Mothra. Maybe there's another tribe that worship another kaiju, and they don't like the surface. And Kong's like, bro, chill, and he just has to fight another kaiju that before those Iwis try to do weird shit and try to go to the surface. It's pretty loose and simple, but it can work, I think.
That's the beauty of these films, is that it's very loose and simple, but I was telling you, it was like whenever I finished watching this one, I was like, dude, this they knew what they were fucking doing with this film. It's like, look, we're not gonna take ourselves seriously. We're fucking giant monsters. Yeah. We're just gonna go ham with it, and I think that's what's great. It's like, if you can just please know what you are and just roll with it.
Yes.
Then I think you can make it work.
Yeah.
It's whenever I think I've realized that when it comes to films, if it's genuine, if they're genuine on what they're trying to do, then a lot of times it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think they're kind of trying to find their stride with that too, because this all started with the Godzilla from 2014.
Yeah.
And they were trying to play it serious and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it didn't do I definitely, at least in my opinion, I think it's definitely the weakest of the films in the MonsterVerse so far.
Yeah, I know people love it, but I do agree.
That's when I was complaining about people that were always sitting there, just like, oh, there's too many human people. Oh, there's too many, or it's like you gotta have one or the other. It's like, well, we gave you one thing, but you're asking for the other thing. What are you doing?
Godzilla fans don't know what the fuck they want.
Hell yeah, dude. Fans don't know what they want.
Godzilla fans specifically are so bad about that shit. You know how many reviews of Godzilla x Kong I read that either started with or included some level of comparison to Godzilla -1?
What? They're two different types of films.
They're tonally on the opposite spectrums. To me, that comparison would be like comparing The Dark Knight and saying it's bad because it doesn't have the campy nature of the Adam West Batman.
No, that's straight up the exact, yeah. That's trying to sit there and say the Batman is compare it to fucking Batman and Robin. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's you could have a character in different things, and Godzilla specifically has been everything under the fucking sun since the 50s. He's been a dad, he's been a father, he's been a hero, he's been a villain, he's flirted with some chick. Godzilla versus the Sea Monster was a weird fucking movie, but Godzilla.
Okay.
Godzilla
I roll with it.
Yeah, Godzilla has such a storied and varied history. He could be whatever he fucking wants. So if you can't really claim Godzilla's supposed to be one thing. He's a versatile character, and what he is representative of the time. American audiences latch on to the more blockbuster cinematic aspect of it. Toho knows this. Toho is okay with this. The Japanese audiences latch on to that more metaphorical, those serious movies like Shin Godzilla and Godzilla -1. Toho knows this, and they're okay with this. Yeah. So why can't we accept that we live in a world, but this should be a good thing, accepted by all Godzilla fans, that we live in this world where some fans can have these really serious, really fucking spectacular, dark movies, and the fans who just want to have fun can have the MonsterVerse and have a damn good time. Both of these things exist. You don't have to have one or the other.
Every version of a kaiju can exist. Essentially, I mean,
exactly.
You're right. Like I've seen, like all those older films, like some of them range from serious, like you said, the whole metaphorical thing, like because I think I like where the Japanese head is at whenever it comes to, because I fucking love Shin Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like whenever you show that to me, it fucking blew my fucking mind, and I was like, oh my god, wait, hold on, you could take these movies seriously and actually make a good movie too. Which is why I really, really want to see -1 at some point. I'm gonna make it happen.
Like, if I ever, when it comes out, I'm gonna get it on like Steelbook if there's a Steelbook, or Blu-ray if it's just a Blu-ray. Yeah. Whenever I get it, we have a fucking watch party, dude. Like
for sure. I'll fucking be there 100% because I really wanted to watch that, and I just when I was finally able to go watch it on my own, they just took it out of theaters, and I was like, fuck. I want to watch it in a movie theater.
I am so sorry about that. But
it's okay. We can emulate it. We'll emulate one way or another. We'll do it. We can make it happen. We have the technology.
But it's okay because, like I said, we have Godzilla X Kong, which was a fun fucking movie. Like, it's hard for me to like point out how bad it, like, things that are bad without sounding really nitpicky. Like the only complaint I have about the movie, which I feel is legitimate, that I hope they learn going forward, is it's a similar problem to Ghostbusters Frozen Empire to me, where Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, I feel like there was just a whole scene, a whole stretch of 20 minutes just right at the end there that was like missing. Like there was a weird jump in time from my perspective. I could be wrong. But in this one, it feels like there's a lot of little scenes that like they trimmed the fat when they didn't need to. Does that make sense?
For which one?
For Godzilla X Kong.
The recent one?
Yeah, like there was a few scenes that they could have lingered on a few scenes and for like another few seconds, or like maybe just given like a few more seconds here, an extra minute here. That scenes that not being in the movie doesn't so much hurt it, but them existing would only serve to help the movie, and it's weird to cut them out. You know what I mean?
The movie was very fast paced. It was very much like go go go.
Yeah,
from then on, like the whole, like I guess I kind of see where you're coming from, like with the like Godzilla just going and powering up everywhere.
Yeah,
kind of was just like, all right, here's that, all right, there you go, and then moving on to the next one. It looked like they threw it in there to show that, hey, Godzilla's also in this movie. We got to show what he's doing.
Yes,
to kind of explain away something, and then but we really want to get back to the whole like the Kong subplot and all that stuff.
This was a Kong movie first.
I can see, yeah. Oh, very much so. Like that was. Leaving the theater, I was like, Kong wasn't that way more than Godzilla.
Yes. The big scene that really like I guess I noticed it and thought this the first time was at the end. To be fair, it was when I won't spoil who this was, but when they bring in another famous kaiju, and when G is like going up the steps, and I was like, would it really have killed the film to just maybe linger on the before the kaiju reveals, to like linger on that thing that Gia goes to for just like a few seconds, so the audience can take in the fact that this character is about to be here? Let's take a second to breathe. All right, let's go. Like with those extra few seconds.
Yeah.
But that's mostly what I mean. It seems like that. Like would an extra few seconds here and there would have only helped the film. And I hope going forward, I'm fine with fast-paced films like this, but I do feel like some scenes were like too fast. They don't have.
Like we could stop and smell the roses. It's okay, guys.
Yeah, and it's weird because there are scenes like with Kong especially. We do stop and smell the roses. Like because I have no notes about anything involving Kong in this movie. Like, fantastic. Like
yeah.
And
I think it was very important to watch him beat the shit out of two other giant monkeys with a baby monkey.
If the MonsterVerse ever goes full strange and does like Godzilla vs. Gigan and give the monsters voices for like a little bit, I'm petitioning right now that the only voice I will accept for King Kong is the guy who voices Kratos.
No way.
I that was a thing for exactly one movie. And should they go really stupid and like for a brief time we got to hear like the kaiju's voices and them talk, the only voice I want to hear coming out of King Kong's mouth is the voice actor for Kratos. because
I think that's perfect.
Let's face it, after this movie, you could just imagine King Kong just going, boy.
Boy. Boy, give me your leg.
Oh my god.
Beat the fuck out of another kaiju with them.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, dude. That scene, that was another scene that was like, memed the fuck out. But like watching in the theater with context, it made it even just, it was better. It was just better. Just watching what's the little guy's name again? Like he's like
Suko.
Suko. Best weapon. The best weapon I've ever seen in a fucking. And then and not only does he I just want to talk about how resilient this little fucker is.
Right?
He sits there, he gets beaten by King Kong to two other monkeys as a weapon, as a makeshift weapon.
Yeah.
And then also the main bad big monkey fucking knocks his block off too at one point, and this baby monkey's fine.
Yes. And there's one cool thing about Suko I didn't realize until a fan on one of the pages I'm on kind of pointed this out. That I think this is such an oddly specific thing that I'm convinced that this was a low-key reference to show how much of a difference in scale and how big Kong is. Because how big Suko is in Godzilla x Kong, he is almost as big as how Kong was in Skull Island.
Oh.
Almost exactly. And that is way too specific of a size reference. That has to be intentional, and that has to be why.
It has to. Wow.
It makes sense though, because Suko's a big boy.
He is a big boy.
But he ain't Kong big.
Baby Kong's a big boy.
Oh. I want to go oh man. Now if anyone who hasn't seen the movie should see it, it's weirdly hard for me to recommend it in IMAX. It was a great IMAX experience. But I
watched it in Dolby.
Yeah, I feel like for the general audience, experiencing it in Dolby is worth the price of admission. If you're already a fan of kaiju movies, if you can see in XD or IMAX, definitely. But if you're not if you're just here for just a fun time, you're not a super big kaiju fan, still see it in theaters, but you'll be fine seeing it in Dolby, I'd say. Because it's one of those movies that you need to see in theaters because of the experience. It's just...
They're all big. You got to watch it the big screen.
Yeah.
And it makes the chair rock. If you watch it in Dolby, it vibrates. So every time... So whenever...
Oh.
They take a step, you feel like your balls shake.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what you were feeling.
Yes. No. You mentioned D-Box. It reminded me. I don't think we talked about this last time, and I forgot to mention this in the movie news. So slight derailment, but I guess they're doing those showings for Star Wars Episode 1. Did I mention this last time?
No, you did not.
Okay. I guess slight derail from new recent films, but. I was talking to my coworkers, and I told them, and I still think this, but D-Box is a gimmick, but I think it's just like 3D. It's going to be around for a while because it's just it depends on the movie. You don't want every movie to be 3D, and you don't want every movie to be D-Box. But Star Wars Episode 1, I would love to see in D-Box for the pod racing scenes alone. That would be an experience to me.
You know what? Yes, it would. I went to find a Cinemark to watch that at now.
Yeah, I feel like Star Wars movies are good for that, but I guess again, tried to derail it from recent films. But yeah, just I had to mention it once. I should have mentioned it earlier. Just thought of that. Screw our schedule. But
when are these re-releasing in theaters? Oh, starting May. Oh, of course. Obviously starting May 3rd. Okay, so next week. Oh shit.
Yeah.
No, not next week. The week after.
Yeah, the week after next. And I might go see it. I know. Well, that's Sunday, May the 5th. That's when our thing is. Cinco de Mayo. I was way too old before I realized that Cinco de Mayo just means the 5th of May.
Were you today years old?
I wasn't today years old, but I was older than I really should have been. Like I think I was in high school when I realized that. Oh, it literally just means 5th of May.
To be fair, I think that's what a lot of people would have, because if you took Spanish class for your language class, you probably would have been, oh.
Like, I feel weird. Most of the time, I was just thinking, oh, Cinco de Mayo, it must be something exotic. Like, maybe it's like an explorer or some shit. I love celebrating Cinco de Mayo. And then we're like, I love celebrating the 5th of May. It's just... Gosh.
Oh, man. That's fucking funny.
But yeah, we got our thing on the 5th of May for Pathfinder, but before that, I might go see it. I need to check my movie passes. Like I said, I can't see every movie that comes out currently, but every time I get a movie pass, I'm gonna have to go see it. Like,
of course.
Yes, this is the May.
You gotta take advantage of that. Yeah, this is it.
But the only movies that I'm saving passes for so far this year, one is Kino, the Planet of the Apes, which tickets are on sale. Probably this week I'm going to see about best times to see Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
The War of the Dawn of the Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
And that's that. We're going to talk about that. Ooh, we're going to talk about Monkey. But the other one... It wouldn't be till later, but the Deadpool movie.
Yes.
Like 100%.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. You got to be there for that.
I'm trying to think, has there any other movies that have come out recently that we would have seen? Because I know last time we talked about like Dune and Kung Fu Panda. This is like right before Godzilla X Kong came out. I haven't. Not a movie. But there were shows that came out recently that are really fucking good.
Yeah.
Fallout.
Yeah, the Fallout show. Fallout show came out.
God.
I can't wait to watch more of it.
I'm in love with that show. I'm only 2 episodes in, but just that opening scene alone, I went from a light chuckle to just how episode 1 starts to just... It immediately just threw me like, oh yeah, here's your lighthearted laugh. Get ready for some feelings, motherfucker. Like it.
Yeah, the that first 20 minutes was such a good intro to the show, and it's even like, as if you're a fan of the games, like where it's going, and even then, like you probably know where it's going regardless. But like
So what you're saying is
being able to see it.
Like, so yeah, you may or may not know where it's going, but either way, the game was rigged from the start.
The game was rigged from the start. It's true, it was.
No, the 2 episodes in, it prompted me to replay Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, the player count's been going up for all those games.
Yeah.
Apparently, Fallout 76 has more players now than they've ever had before.
Yeah, and apparently, like, Steam is having that Fallout sale. Like, everything's on sale. You can get Fallout New Vegas for like $2 right now, which, do it. Like, if you don't have it, slight shilling for a Steam sale. But,
don't shell out money for Orgasm Academy. Get the fucking New Vegas.
Don't tell me what to do.
I mean, if you want to, go for it. But, like, honestly, any of the Fallout games, really.
Oh, yeah. Like I've only played New Vegas, but it really makes me want to play the other ones. Like, it is so good.
Fallout 3 is still excellent. I still think it holds up pretty well because that was my first Bethesda game. And there's ways for you to play the original 2 Fallout games, Fallout 1 and 2. There's mods for it that helps you modernize it and all that stuff.
Yeah. But I guess to go back to the show, I don't want to spoil too much about it because it just came out, and I want to give everyone a chance to watch it. Like everyone, like even if you don't think it's, if you think that it might not be up your alley, you're probably wrong. This is a great, great fucking show.
You don't have no fuck all about the games. You just go into it for a good time.
Like the closest point of comparison I could think of, to me, and I know this is gonna sound weird, but Arcane, and it's not so much of subject matter, but like you've seen Arcane, correct?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, and you know that you don't gotta play League or know jack diddly shit about anything Riot has done, because that was a damn good story.
It's just an excellent show in general. Yeah.
Yeah. This is, to me, that same vein, and I would love more game companies to do this. I don't want to go too deep. We're not doing video game movies this week, but like in general, just if you want, I think the key to making a good video game show or movie is to first make it a good show or movie. Mm-hmm. And Fallout show passed that test. It is a great fucking show. The effects are like I don't want to spoil it, but like to me the funniest thing that happened so far. Again, only 2 episodes in, but it happened in episode 2. Have you watched episode 2?
Yes.
The best I'm trying to say is without spoiling it. In the cave. Do you know what I'm referring to?
Yes.
With the 2 dudes.
Yes.
And when he's doing the slow turnaround, and he just starts freaking out.
Yeah.
That and just everything he said at the moment, it cracked me up.
Okay, well, that's how everyone reacts. It's how everyone reacts running into something like that. Yeah. Doesn't even matter if you're wearing power armor. Yeah. I still yell fuck.
Yes. No, it's a great show.
That's just Fallout.
It's just Fallout. That's Vegas, baby. No, actually, in this one,
yes,
it's Philly, baby. But that's one thing I love about Fallout as a series, and I'm just latching on to, is because each one is so ingrained in like a specific city or like a specific area. You really could just do it just anywhere. Like this is Fallout in Philly. Fallout New Vegas is, well, in Vegas. And you just have all this shit around. And just...
Yeah, and you can just see how it all was different for everyone. Like Fallout 3 takes place in Washington, D.C. Obviously, that got bombed to fuck. Yeah. So it's like an absolute wasteland there.
Oh, it's such a good show. And the only thing I could say to take away, again, if you have... It's on Prime. That's what it's on. If you have Prime, watch it. If you... Like, if you want to just get a fucking a trial, that's fine. Just whatever you could do to watch it. I know there's been a push recently, because I swear I've seen it with like the Marvel shows. Monarch has a DVD or Blu-ray out, but I feel like a lot of shows that are releasing on like Apple TV and Disney Plus and whatnot are getting just the Blu-ray treatment.
Which I'm happy for.
If there gets to be a Fallout the Steelbook with just the entire show, I might have to consider getting it, because it's just that good.
Hell yeah!
Because Legacy of Monsters got as a Blu-ray. I think it's out. Monarch could have been good. Well, that's the thing. I could be wrong. I swear I saw that announcement that there was going to be a Steelbook for Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I could be wrong, but I swear I saw that announcement. But I didn't look it up for this because I guess I didn't really confirm it. But yeah,
there is a Monsterverse Steelbook collection.
There is, and it is
It
expensive.
looks like it's not as... Yes, it is, and it looks cool as fuck though.
Yeah. Like I've been slowly buying the Steelbooks one by one. The only ones I'm missing right now are, I think, Kong Skull Island. I need to look through my Steelbooks. I think I'm missing that one. And, of course, Godzilla X Kong, but that's not even out yet.
Right.
I think you're thinking of the Disney Plus. Well, I guess, yeah, I know the Disney Plus shows. Like, I've seen, like, Loki and, like, the announcements from Moon Knight and those, like...
right.
Like, I've seen those. But I swear I've seen, like, other shows getting that treatment. and I swear I saw an announcement, and again, I could be wrong. I could be just blowing smoke out of my ass, but I swear I saw that announcement that Monarch Legacy of Monsters is at least going to get a Blu-ray, not necessarily a steelbook, but at least a Blu-ray release, if only temporary. But yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I guess. Was there anything else recently that came out that you're aware of? I'm drawing a blank aside from those two things. Just Fallout and Godzilla.
There were some other movies I wanted to see, but like I didn't get a chance. Like honestly, Godzilla X Kong was the only recent film I watched.
Yeah. There were. Let me look up. There were other movies that came out. Movies. What came out in theaters recently?
What films are there? Do movies exist anymore?
What are movie? Oh, let's see. Oh yeah, there's. That's what it was. Movies in theaters right now. So Sting just came out. We talked about that briefly.
Oh shit! Okay.
Arthur the King. It just, to me, Arthur the King looks like a standard feel-good movie. It's kind of why I didn't really bring it up in the trailers. It's probably going to be fine. The First Omen. Are you excited for that? Because I'm not.
I heard. I liked the trailer, actually, that they came out with. That was done in, like, reverse and all that, and it didn't give you fuck all, like, what the movie was going to be about.
Yes.
And so far, I've been hearing good things about it, too. I was, like most horror movies, I just don't care. But in that one, the trailer kind of gripped me.
Yeah.
Truth be told. So I was kind of like, I was a little more interested in it than I think most people were.
Yeah. The only other things I could think of that are fairly recent that maybe we're talking about. One is, apparently it's like, I don't know if this is Netflix or theaters, called Monkey Man. And I don't know fuck all about this movie, but every time I see it brought up, I just see just a general movie going crowd saying this movie is fucking amazing. And the only thing I know about it's like a revenge movie, I think, and there's like a guy in a monkey mask.
Oh, Monkey Man.
Yeah,
I want to see that. I want to see that so fucking badly.
I don't know fuck all about this, so if you know more about it, I'll leave that discussion to you.
Fucking. So basically, it's like I guess Indian John Wick, I guess, is the best one. It's a revenge film. But, like, the guy that played, I think it was the same guy. Hold on, let me look it up before I start saying stuff. The guy that played,
Yeah?
Yes. No, he did not play him. I'm thinking of someone else. But he was in The Green Knight.
Oh, I wanted to see that.
And the unfortunate film known as The Last Airbender.
the Shamalama Ding Dong one?
Yes. Oh, yes. No, he like put like his blood, sweat, and tears in this movie because he like directed this movie and everything. And like it almost didn't get made, or it was supposed to be a Netflix only movie, but like what's his name? Fuck, the guy that did I just had his name, but he did like Us and Get Out and all that.
Jordan Peele?
Jordan Peele saw it, was like, hold up. I'm gonna get someone to buy this movie off you. This needs to be released in theaters. And like he got like was it? I think it was some big movie company bought it. It might have been Paramount, and actually got the rights to put it in theaters.
Damn.
But he like was trying hard to. Dev Patel was trying really hard to like make this movie happen. But it looks cool. The trailer, like a lot of the action scenes they showed off in the trailer looked really fucking cool. And people are saying it's a fun time. So but that's one movie I do really want to see.
Okay, I might want to see that. I guess I just didn't know a whole lot about it. The only other two, before I really move on to the main topic, I'm looking at a list of movies that came out recently. The only two I could think of that are kind of could be worth. One is One Love, that Bob Marley movie.
Mm-hmm. I heard it was fine.
Yeah, I want to see it because I'm not expecting like high quality cinema whenever I see those types of movies like Bohemian Rhapsody, but I am interested in just the life of the star, and I'm a sucker for good musicals. And to me, a good musical, it incorporates the songs appropriately. And I know it's kind of an easy out because, well, it's obviously like about like Bohemian Rhapsody. Well, it's about Freddie Mercury. Part of the movie is they're writing the songs, so they're going to incorporate it. Yeah, it's an easy out, but it's still a good way to incorporate it. And like I get to enjoy these great songs and a decent story. And with One Love, like I only know of one Bob Marley song, and it's the one everybody fucking knows. But with One Love, like I did not know that he actually had to go through like that rebellion shit in his home life. Like I didn't know he was basically like a pseudo freedom fighter or whatever's going on in that movie. Like I did not know. Like because apparently like yeah, I didn't know any of that at all, and like I like that explains why so many people like just basically worship this fucking dude. It's not he made one good song. Apparently he lived through some shit and was forced to be just this voice of the people. Like not because he wanted to, he just wanted to sing, but it just shit happened in his life. So I'm low key kind of interested like in the story, but I also wouldn't mind hearing more of his songs. So like I'm not expecting high art, but I'm kind of interested.
Yeah, I heard it was it was an okay movie. Yeah. Like it was like it wasn't offensive or
yeah,
just from some people because it's like it wasn't necessarily like a. I guess because it wasn't necessarily musical, either.
Mm-hmm.
It was just about it was just more of another like musical biopic about his life and all that stuff, more about the drama aspect of it.
Yeah. Like I'd be fine seeing that. And I guess the last movie that I this one I kind of want to see out of spite. Have you seen the trailers for Imaginary?
Yes.
I want to see
I think it could be a fun time, actually.
I've seen so many people shit on the movie, and I'm just like, to be fair, it's a movie about a killer imaginary friend. Like,
right. It looks like some of the shots in that trailer that I saw were kind of creepy looking.
Yes.
So I mean, like I assume it's just it's more. Oh, that was like PG-13 Blumhouse, crap to throw out there that's going to make a profit no matter what because they know how to make a movie work on a shoestring budget.
Mm-hmm. And part of the reason I want to see it is because you know how the movie Malignant, it went places?
It sure did, yeah.
And while Imaginary doesn't go as far as Malignant, because God, what the fuck can? There is some general like, it has that kind of like, oh, it's gonna go to some weird shit, including like what happens with the bear. I'm like, I kind of want to see that, like,
okay,
yeah. Like I said, people said that's why people don't like it. Like some people said it didn't go weird enough. Some people said like. Because it doesn't go that far as something like Malignant, there's a bit of a tonal thing to. Because I know the movie's been getting kind of shit on, and they're just like it's just whatever movie. It's but I don't know. Like the scenes look fun. I want to see it. I want to give it a fair shake. I don't know.
It could be entertaining, and if it entertains me, I'm cool with that.
Exactly. But I guess that's the only thing I could think of. Just to move on to the winning topic of the day, the good old Kaiju Films.
Totally not rigged.
Totally not rigged.
Totally not rigged.
Totally not rigged. Okay. I'm watching the time, and I won't go too far because the movie news took up the brunt of what we were talking about. And I'm fine with that.
Because a lot of news came out, yeah.
There's a lot of news, and a good chunk of that was Kaiju related, so it's like, it's whatever. I had a hell of a time figuring out what to talk about. And part of what I talk about is also going to be dependent on what you talk about. So, like, what Kaiju movies do you want to talk about, if anything?
So I can only really talk about the ones I've actually talked about or I've actually watched. And to be fair, kaiju movies don't necessarily have to be like the MonsterVerse stuff and, with Toho and all that.
Yeah.
It could be fucking anything. Shit. What was the... You know what one we can talk about?
Yeah.
Because I don't think we actually sat down and talked because I watched it with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Shin Ultraman.
Yo. Okay, I'm down. Yes. Okay. Oh.
So yeah, because I was like, I don't think we actually sat down and like talked to it about it, but I got to watch it. And I have, so mind you, I have no idea who the fuck Ultraman is. I just knew what, like I got a massive fucking like crash course in what an Ultraman is.
Yeah.
Watching this film, let me tell you. And also, I'm going into it thinking like, oh yeah, it's got Shin in the name. Like I'm assuming it's gonna be like fucking Shin Godzilla.
Hell no.
It's not.
Hell no.
Oh my god, no, it's not. But it still gives it the same amount of love.
Yes.
Because I loved how it went so practical with a lot of the stuff to the point where it was like, no, we'll even like recreate like shots. Like every time, like you see like the fucking quick shot of like a very obvious like puppet flying up in the air with the goofy ass fucking sound effect going off and all that. I was like, okay, like they're doing this on purpose, but they know what they're doing, and I love it too. I'm here for it because it's so fucking goofy. I loved every bit of it. So, I loved that. It was like they went very practical with the movie. They did. I appreciate the shit out of that.
They did, and that was an homage to oh gosh, what was his name? I have a book about this fucking guy, and I'm drawing a blank on his name. But there was one guy who did all of the, if there's a model or just a kaiju design in the first like few decades of just the early life of Godzilla, Ultraman, just as early life, it was all about this guy. I'm not even gonna. Oh, fuck.
Essentially, it was the stunt guy for.
No, not the stunt guy, like the designer. But
oh, okay.
But he was like he was also the director. Oh god, I'm gonna have to look this up because I feel bad drawing a blank about him because I literally was thinking about him earlier. Fuck.
Damn.
Eiji Tsuburaya. Duh. As you typed in Griffin, I looked up the thing. Yeah, Eiji Tsuburaya, Master of Monsters. I have his book from August Ragone. And if they, a lot of this, the reason it was practical was just an homage to him because everything that's just about a practical effect, it's almost more ingrained in Ultraman than it is with Godzilla. Because with Godzilla effects, they tend to be more experimental and creative, especially like the Heisei era, like all the 80s and 90s Godzilla films. But with Ultraman, even into the 2000s, it's always been models and guys in suits. Like if you look up recent Ultraman shows, yeah, there is CG in some scenes, but in general, it's just actors, guys in suits, model work. Like not necessarily a low budget, but not really a high budget production either. Like that's just an Ultraman thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And so like I appreciate that too. But can we talk about the best goddamn scene in Shin Ultraman when he tries to do that spinning cartwheel kick and just flops around, seizures out in the air for about 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, the fucking yes, yeah. No, Mike goes, Keelan, you're not ready for this next scene because like the movie, it kept getting crazier throughout the film, and I'm like, there's no way it fucking tops this. There's no way this it can't fucking top this. And Michael goes, no, it can. It's coming up, and with full on sound effects and everything, him just like going like fucking,
dude,
fucking wigs out. The whole time I was like, okay, I was like, have you ever like wanted to destroy something so badly you fucking T-pose and then fucking come in like a fucking item in Devil May Cry and just fucking blow up whatever you're mad at? This guy just fucking did that.
He just fucking did an Ultraman T-pose. I wanted to hear the Ultraman theme just as soon as he kicked him. It was so fucking perfect. Like I think that's why the Shin film, why it's so different, and I realized that with Shin Ultraman is Shin. If the movie has Shin before in those Japanese films, it's not necessarily going to be a serious film, but it's going to capture what the filmmakers and producers believe is the true essence of that specific property.
Yeah.
And like I think with Ultraman in general, they hit the nail on the fucking head. Because Ultraman, yeah, there is some good acting, there is some kind of action-packed scenes, but it's really fucking weird and it's really fucking goofy. Like if you were to watch original Ultraman, which everyone should, it's so fun to watch. Episodes are fucking weird. They just are. Like like you.
And I'm happy to. Like, I'm glad that like they were just like, no, we're not going to do anything gritty or serious or anything like that. Absolutely. How do you do that? You can't fucking do that with this show. It's a giant alien robot guy.
And hell, just
accidentally killed a human because whenever he landed, the fucking rock bonked him on the head. Yeah, that's
basically, yeah. He parked his car on he parked his car on a human. Oh shit. Where's my insurance?
Oh my god, no. Yeah, no, you can't fucking take that seriously. So I was like, okay, I know what kind of movie this is, so I'm here for it. I'll be here with it.
And everything they did, like, and we talked earlier about how we can't compare Godzilla -1 to fucking Godzilla x Kong. There's kind of something like that with Ultraman, but we've already been kind of weirdly accepting of. Shin Ultraman is like the shows. It's goofy, it's weird, fans love it. No one is comparing it to the Ultraman anime, which is that slightly more serious and gritty take on Ultraman.
Yes.
And everyone seems to accept, well, it's more serious and gritty until the end of season 2. I've watched the first 2 seasons. Season 1, fantastic. Season 2, it's good. It's weird. Which I guess is probably why people don't bat an eye, is because it does start to get more traditional Ultraman weirdness. But yeah, we have serious Ultraman stuff that exists. Like if you go way back, like what started Ultraman, it was a radio cast.
Really?
It was a radio cast, and it had nothing to do with Ultraman. Like the idea of just the kaiju was first, and the original concept was a series that eventually became a show called Ultra Q. That's why, like, even whenever they did the Wave of Steel books, you saw Ultra Q. Ultra Q is a great series. The best way I could describe it, it's like Twilight Zone, but every episode is just a story of just a weird monster or just a weird scenario. Like there's one episode that's totally, that I think at the time was just them cashing in on the idea of King Kong, because this was like 60s, like early 60s, like
yeah,
and basically an ape that lives in like Borneo or some shit, and it eats a lot of just like very medicinal growth hormone milk, and it's a very large monkey, and it's large for the time, which is like it's like King Kong movie large, where it could basically look into like the second or third story. Like there, just as you'll have episodes in Ultra Q where there's big monsters like that, you'll get just as many episodes where like the monster in question is like a snail that could probably fit in your living room. It shoots fire or some shit.
Okay.
It's Twilight Zone Ultraman, weird monsters and shit, but
that's fucking cool though.
Yeah, like it's all black and white, and some episodes are weird, but some episodes are cool, and it's entirely episodic, because you could just watch. You don't even have to watch them in order, because there's no beginning or ending. It has that glorious Twilight Zone feel to it. If I compare it to that, you can just watch a random episode, and everything you need for the story of that episode is there.
I love that.
Oh, I might
like. So does it start off with like a guy like tell you what the story about it too before it actually goes into
Yes. Okay. It doesn't exposit the whole thing, but there is a really cool intro sequence or but it's just a guy talking about just how mysterious the world is and just all these mysterious things happening. What else could happen in this wonderful world? Like it's not like a super memorable monologue, but it is a cool one. I'll have to find it again. I could send it to you later. Okay. Probably put it in a link or whatnot. But it is just a nifty little like. So I think that intro is why I compare it to Twilight Zone, because it's very much like today is another tale of a giant fucking snail or some shit. I
don't. You better start off like that.
No, like Ultra Q is great, but
have you ever had a giant snail come in and breathe fire on you? Well, that just is exactly what happens in this episode.
No, like some episodes, I think it was the precursor for Ultraman, and to some extent, not necessarily Godzilla, but a lot of the later, a lot of the 60s and 70s Godzilla films, like what he became in that era. Because Ultra Q was all over the place. Some episodes were a little more lighthearted, like about the big old monkey from Borneo. Some episodes were scary. There was like an episode where they're just in a little big old cabin for the weekend, and they're there to investigate disappearances, and they find out it's a big ass fucking spider. And the big thing that why it's so interesting is the main characters, the only recurring characters, they're not an elite team of just people that kill monsters for a living. It's literally just journalists and hobbyists.
Really?
Yes. And like they do have to do a lot of out of the box thinking, and I think that's really why I appreciate the show. There is some episodes where they have to do military. Like, how are you going to do certain things without a military van coming up and shooting something? But most of the time, but most of the time it's not. Like, they have to get a little creative with how they do certain things. Like I said, Ultraman, it's hit or miss. If you would watch the first few episodes of the Ultraman show and you can appreciate the silliness, you're gonna love the rest. But even if you don't like Ultraman, Ultra Q is different enough where you can watch all of it, and like each episode's a bit different, and I think you can enjoy it.
So, Ultra Q is the Twilight Zone variant of
basically, and Ultra Q came first, and then because of the popularity of like, there's a long storied history, and I could be getting facts wrong. Like I know Ultra Q was first. I know because of the giant monster boom in Japan, they decided to, and them doing the giant monsters with Ultra Q and Godzilla and whatnot, and other unique monsters from Toho, they decided to kind of expand on that, and then Ultraman became a thing, because we didn't want just giant monsters. We wanted a giant superhero to fight the monsters. That's what Ultraman was.
Okay.
And it took off. It is not an exaggeration to say that Ultraman is to Japan what Superman is to America.
Oh.
It is, yeah.
I did not know that. I didn't know that was, okay.
That is not an exaggeration at all. Like it means just as much culturally over there as like Superman does to the States.
The Superman.
In fact, Super Raya once made. So according to Griffin, here's a little fun fact: Super Raya once made a recreation of the Battle of Pearl Harbor using only models, and it was so convincing that censors confused it for actual war footage.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
Yeah.
I bet he took that as a compliment.
Probably. See, now I'm thinking about Ultraman. Like, part of me wanted to talk about, I guess, bring in a few movies, and I don't want to talk about Godzilla too much. And I mentioned this to you earlier, is I could go on for way too long about Godzilla. Way too long.
Yeah, of course.
And if I were to do that, I'd rather that be a committed just Godzilla episode.
Yeah.
I will, like, we talked a bit about Godzilla X Kong. I could touch briefly on the MonsterVerse, because like tonally it's all over the place, because again, you said it started with Godzilla 2014. They eventually went to more serious films. Some people wish it could have stayed that way. Some people, fans are never appeased. But
we don't talk about them. We don't appreciate their opinions.
But all I'll say about the MonsterVerse is I really love and appreciate everything that they have been doing, especially recently, to bring Godzilla to a more general audience. And I know that's a push that Toho is doing. Is like their current initiative is the World of Godzilla. The whole because you know that, and this isn't just a Godzilla thing. This is just an every Japanese property, anime, whatever. That it's hard to get certain shows and movies from Japan in America. Like release schedules are all over the fucking place. And part of that is because of how Japan views intellectual property. But with the World of Godzilla, the whole motivation is like they're realizing, oh, there is actually a market in other countries. Let's open the door a little bit and celebrate what makes this franchise so great. Because even without us pushing it, things like Godzilla and Dragon Ball Z and all this shit has reached the world. So who are we to stifle this? So with the World of Godzilla initiative, every time there is a new Godzilla anything, like a movie, show, whatever, they are going to try to basically make it a consistent global release. Part of the reason Godzilla -1 was such a big deal is the release times. With Shin Godzilla, it got released in Japan in like I believe on like August or some shit, and we didn't get it till the year after in the States.
God damn.
If you don't know that, it's like you don't realize that, but once you see like, oh, they didn't really they didn't care about like the all the censors and whatnot. But with Godzilla -1, they only did subtitles, but there was less than a month apart from the Japanese and American release, and most of that was just because of just like customs and getting everything and licensing and whatnot. They're going to shoot for as close to a simultaneous release as they can get for all future Godzilla projects going forward, which I think is fantastic. And like the MonsterVerse, love it or hate it, is showing that American audiences, maybe for different reasons, they like Godzilla. I'm telling you, man, I can go on forever about this shit. But
I know you could. It's great.
But like, I am consistently surprised and annoyed by people's reaction to Godzilla fans, because like when Trey and I went to go see Godzilla -1, we got to see an IMAX on the first screening, and they had like the IMAX posters for it, and we were there a bit early, so even though we bought our ticket, we had our assigned seat or whatnot, we were there a bit early. And somehow they were surprised that Godzilla fans were showing up an hour before the movie, and there were that many, because on opening weekend, like there was only like 2 or 3 showings for Godzilla -1 in IMAX, and every other slot for IMAX was for like a Beyonce concert or some shit.
Oh yeah, I think that's what came out like the same.
Yeah,
I forgot what it was, but I think I know what you're talking about because
and then
was talking about it.
Yep, and then -1 just completely kicked that out of the theater, took over all of its spots, and people were like, no, it wouldn't be. Like, are people really going to see this? What? Like, so many people in theaters are like surprised by that, and I don't understand. Like people are hearing early, like, oh shit, we were gonna wait till like 20 minutes before the showing to pull out the posters, and like, what the fuck? Why? And
that's crazy that they
And there's little things like that happen all the time. Another recent one that happened, there was an event called Kaiju Go last year, and the theater, the downtown Cowtown in Dallas, they accepted. It's a small venue, and they accepted to do the thing, partially because it was like one of the last times they could host an event, but they legitimately didn't think that a lot of people would come to a Godzilla screening. Holy shit, were they wrong? This is one of those old theaters that it's just like one screen and a fuck ton of... You know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Packed. It was packed.
Yeah. Been there, done that.
And like they had to like really police the lines and like everything, and they were just nothing. Oh my god! Like there's like no space to breathe. Some people, like so many times people had to go in the back rooms just to get away from people. They were like for some reason, it's just no one expects Godzilla to have a fan base for some reason, and they're like surprised that people were just going to think less of it. Like, and the MonsterVerse, I feel, is breaking that norm to a point.
Yes.
That like Godzilla should be treated like how most like superhero movies and stuff like that treat. Like people like this stuff. Just please accept that. Don't like dismiss it. People like it, which is only a good thing. That's only a good thing.
That's just money to be made, you know?
Exactly.
Like why would you keep that away from people? Especially like, you know, bringing the MonsterVerse, making it even more popular than ever, you know?
Yeah. Like considering like for like some people have pointed out the faults. Like I said, I think there is some legitimate faults in Godzilla X Kong, but it's like not major stuff. It made its money and people like the movie. I think no matter what, we're going to get more MonsterVerse movies, and they're going to be at least similar in tone to Godzilla X Kong. Like,
I'm for it, man.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah. And like Godzilla -1, I didn't mention this earlier. I don't know if it's confirmed that's going to get a sequel. I know the director approaches the sequel to that very much like how Joaquin Phoenix approached the sequel to the Joker. It's like, if this is going to happen, we're going to have to do it right, because this is a very particular movie.
It's very special, very different. And it can't just be a cash grab.
Yeah.
At all. Because that just fucks up the, you know, what people expect out of the original.
Correct.
It wouldn't like sully it or anything like that. When people would be like,
no.
Oh man, what were the music? No, they did not make a sequel. It was that bad.
Yeah, and I guess to that note, the last Godzilla film I'll touch on, if they were going to make a Godzilla film that is a sequel to Godzilla -1, I think as much as I kind of think it's kind of a whatever, it's one of, not the worst, but one of, I would say, the lesser Godzilla films, they should take a note from Godzilla Rates Again. Because despite its faults, this general scenario they went with felt like the intentional and obvious sequel to the events of the first one. Because the original 2054 Godzilla King of the Monsters was just, Godzilla was just an allegory for nuclear devastation. This focused on the people in the line of fire. Godzilla Raids Again, the main character was a relief pilot, someone who would just go out and try to like just deliver supplies, and just kind of, he would also be in his own level of danger, basically delivering supplies in like post bombing. Like some stuff was still on fire. It honestly has, one of, if not my favorite shots in all of Godzilla film history is from Raids Again, and it has nothing to do with a monster. The main character is just talking to his girlfriend on the phone, and she's noticeably worried because, like I said, he's a relief pilot. He's about to go somewhere. There are monsters about. It's very dangerous. And the main character in that movie is one of the best parts about it. He is very cheerful, very charismatic, and he's just trying to keep like a happy face amongst like these very depressing times. They have their conversation. He goes out to do his thing, and the woman just looks out the window. There is like no music, but she looks out the window, and you can see in the backdrop the silhouette of a city and like flickering lights, and it is just not clear if that's fire or if that's the city coming to life again. And just that ambiguity is just there. Well, there's like no noise when it cuts, and that hits so well, I think, for the moment.
Damn.
Yeah, like it's a great shot. Like that is like that kind of tone should be really taken notice of if they do a sequel to -1. Like some people are like, oh, like some people have weird ideas of where a sequel to -1 could go, and it's hard to talk about that without talking about spoilers for the movie, which I will not do. If you should see it,
appreciate. Yeah, go watch it. Don't do me. Go watch it.
But the one thing that I think it's not really a spoiler, but what it's not a spoiler to say that Godzilla's the only monster in Godzilla -1, I think. And what some people wanted is more monsters in later sequels. And it's in a weird spot for me. I kind of do too, but I don't know how they could get away with it. And it's hard to explain without spoiling the movie. Like I said, like you gotta really tread lightly with a sequel to Godzilla -1, because that was. I could go. Oh, it's hard to talk about that when I talk about spoilers. You haven't seen it.
I know, it's okay. It's okay. We will.
I guess to really round it out, like I was gonna talk a bit about the MonsterVerse films. You got me thinking about Ultraman. I guess to round out the big three about just general kaiju stuff, because we talked a bit about the MonsterVerse, talked a bit about Godzilla -1, Shin Ultraman, fucking Gamera. Might as well bring him up.
Okay. That's the turtle, right?
That is the turtle. He had a show recently which was really fucking fun. I think it's still on Netflix. If you should watch that.
Is it the animated one?
Yes. Because that one is literally just each episode Gamera fights a different kaiju. That's literally it. And that's all it needs to be. Like there is a overarching story, and there's a choice they make about two of the characters that I'm just like, I won't say who it is or what the choice is, but after they reveal what's going on, all I could think is, okay, I guess, but they're like 13, dude.
Oh God, okay.
Yeah, no, like it, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just become a fuddy duddy now that I'm fucking 30. I'm turning 34 this year. But I won't spoil what it is. But that aside, like the general is Gamera is really neat. He is filled with turtle meat. But the show is just showcasing just really cool monster designs and just, oh, this is Gamera fighting all this shit. But Gamera's always been the kaiju that everyone wants more of because he has like nothing to him. Like he'll go decades without movies. Like he had, yeah, he had like I think it was six or so movies in the around the time Godzilla was the thing, like back in like the 60s, early 70s, and then nothing until 1999, where we got a new trilogy that every fan of Gamera agrees.
They made up 4. They're like, all right, we'll make 3 of them.
Yes, we got 3 Gamera movies, and like any fan of Gamera generally agrees that those 3 movies are like the best. They are better than anything from the Showa era. You could like the original, like the original is fun and fine, but the Heisei trilogy, if you were to watch anything Gamera, watch those 3 movies.
That's the one. That's the one. Okay.
Yeah, they are really, really fucking good. And it created a lot of lore for Gamera and how if there's any kaiju you could describe as a superhero, it would be Gamera. Like, all the time. Like, the people were like, oh, he's the defender of Earth, not the people. Which there's always that talk about the movie, but he has a soft spot for the people, but he hates... Let's be real. Gamera doesn't hate people. He hates assholes. And that's...
Dude, based?
Yeah. And that's super relatable. It's just that most people are assholes, so he gets across... So it seems like he hates people. But no, he just hates assholes. He seems like Katakawa likes to forget they even own Gamera. Yeah, I think that's it too. Because I don't know if you remember this, at Comic-Con one year, was it at Comic-Con? But they had that big teaser for a new Gamera project back in like God.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, nothing ever came of it. Ever. And I'm going to find this trailer. I'm going to link it to you after after this to show you. But people saw people liked the Showa trilogy enough. It's fine. The Heisei trilogy came out. People loved it. That's what people were like. We want more of this stuff. Then a little over a decade later, we got a new teaser, and it was like, more of this. Yes, Gamera's cool. This looks fucking awesome. Nothing came of it until the end. Nothing. Like I think at some point, right before or right after that, we got a movie called Gamera the Brave, which is a good movie if you like Gamera. Like it is not the movie I would show someone to introduce someone to Gamera. It is what I would show, like, okay, you now know what Gamera's about. Here's more of just like a heartfelt kind of movie with some really good kaiju action, and just now that you kind of understand the tropes tied to Gamera.
Okay.
And
you need to have you need to have the pre-game knowledge of Gamera to understand.
Yes,
to be fair, you have to have a really high Gamera IQ to understand Gamera.
You have to understand the subtleties. No, but it is a good film. But like, I feel because it's a little tropey compared to that trilogy that came out like 99, 2000. Like being exposed to any of the other Gamera films first would be better. Okay, so that trailer was a proof of concept. So we got a proof of concept trailer in 2015 Comic-Con for Gamera's 50th anniversary. And as soon as the proof of concept trailer came up, massive fucking positive reception. Was like, dude, this looks awesome. Make this movie. And nothing. And part of the...
I don't think I will.
Right. Part of the reason is like you have Gamera, big-ass turtle, hero that everyone needs. His arch nemesis, Gauss. The Gauss are like... They are some of the most terrifying, like actually scary kaiju. Outside of Godzilla -1, the Gauss might be like some of the most scariest kaiju out in the world to me. Because they're not like, oh, this is a monster born from pollution. He just wants to huff paint all day, or like whatever the fuck was Hedra. Like, no, this is a...
He just wants to huff paint.
I don't... Like,
oh my god.
No, but this was fucking... This is a creature that like, why are these like reptile bird things? Why are they so devastating? Because they're eating people. Because they're multiplying like rabbits, and they're just eating everything in sight. It is literally a flying plague, and they are not polite eaters. They are gruesome as fuck.
Like, this is the one gif where he just lasers that fucking thing for no reason.
Yeah.
I've seen that guy before.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Okay,
But Gauss are terrifying, and that proof of concept trailer really captured just not only why the Gauss look like, why they're such a cool design, but why they are terrifying. Like, I guess, have you seen A Quiet Place?
Yes.
Do you know? So you understand that the creatures are like, you know, in the trailer for Quiet Place Day 1, how you just have this swarm of just the creatures attacking the city and whatnot.
Yeah.
Whenever the Gauss enter a city, it's that, but they're flying.
Oh.
Yeah, and like the Heisei movies and that proof of concept trailer, and to extent the anime really nail home. This thing is a demon. It's basically a demon. It's going to kill you.
Ooh.
Yeah, like they're scary fucking things. Also, Gamera the Brave feels like a Studio Ghibli movie. Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Interesting.
Like it's so different. Like from the other Gamera films, that's why I think it's probably not the first Gamera thing I would show you. But no, like if you ever want to watch the Gamera movies, I have them on Blu-ray. I actually might schedule a watch party next weekend for those. Damn it.
Oh fuck yeah.
I don't know. Up in the air. I'll throw a line on my Discord and see if people want to do that. Because now I'm thinking about Gamera again. But plus before I go to the wheel, a minor thing I want to touch on, like I know it's about Gamera and Godzilla. They recently got actually no, not recently, but they have Blu-ray collections out.
Mm-hmm.
The Showa era of Godzilla, so everything before 75. I'm all over the place with my years, but basically everything before the 80s. All of those Godzilla movies are now in the Criterion Collection.
Oh shit!
Yeah, which I love Godzilla. I don't know if I agree with that. Like, I love that they're in the Criterion Collection, and we're going to remember that those movies exist. But do we really want to consider Godzilla's Revenge one of the best? Okay, all right, whatever. I got it on Blu-ray now.
What is Godzilla's Revenge?
It is a bullying PSA featuring Godzilla.
No fucking way.
Like,
does Godzilla tell a kid not to come to school the next day?
Dude, it is a movie. I consider this to be the worst Godzilla movie, like by a long shot. But like, there's no contest. And it's
so funny how there are two separate IPs that have the Revenge at the end. They end up being one of the worst in the series.
Yes.
If I had two nickels...
if I had a nickel for every time that happened, I'd have two nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
It's weird that it happened twice.
But with Godzilla's Revenge, that was like the height of Godzilla popularity, and they... Of course, there's also the height of Ultraman popularity. I've never been able to confirm this, but I am convinced that this was meant to be like a bullying short featuring Ultraman, and then Godzilla just kind of got thrown in to appeal to a wider audience. I haven't looked this up to confirm it, but that's kind of what my headcanon is, because there is some weirdly specific things that happen in it. It is the movie where Godzilla's son, little Manila, you know that GIF you sent me where Tsuko threw the rock at that little potato fucker?
Yeah.
Yeah, that little potato head. That's Manila.
Oh, okay.
And in Godzilla's Revenge, Manila fucking talks.
Oh no.
He is the size of a little boy, and Manila fucking talks to a little boy, and he could
the size of a little boy.
And he can actively change size between his normal size and human size, Ultraman style. And it is a dual story about how the kid has to deal with bullies at school in his less than standard home life, and Manila has to deal with the bully on Monster Island because his dad can't be bothered.
Shut up.
I'm
not even a fan of this shit, and I already know. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
And to make it worse, like half of like most of the scenes with Godzilla, it's just stock footage from the previous Godzilla movies.
Shit yourself.
And
I'd be so upset.
That's what I'm saying. Like, half the stuff wasn't even filmed, and it's a movie that I'm just like, if you remove Godzilla from this movie, you would honestly have a halfway decent bullying PSA about as a kid with a bad home life, meeting a toy maker that helped him out with just through some bad times. And to me, if taking Godzilla out of the movie makes it better, it's not a good Godzilla movie. It does have its own underlying message that the director wanted to get across, and that's something to appreciate, but from a technical and filmmaking standpoint, it is the worst Godzilla movie. Yes, 100%. Like, it's not a bad...
You could do that with anything else.
Yeah, it should have...
Why did it have to be Godzilla?
Nobody knows.
I was trying to say Gojira and Godzilla at the same time, but that did not come out right at all.
Godzilla. But, yeah, Godzilla's Revenge is now in the Criterion Collection. I have it on Blu-ray. But I bring those up.
Dude, imagine having that on Blu-ray.
God. I have every Godzilla movie at this point on Blu-ray. Except for -1 and Godzilla x Kong, but soon. But
soon.
But I bring those up, and I wanted to bring up Gamera. because there's the Criterion Collection, which is a cool little booklet, or just a big old case, or you just open it up and you see all the discs. And it has, but it's so awkwardly large, and it was like $120, which. Mm-hmm. But with Gamera, Arrow, who is a distributor that is, it's up there with Shout. They're winning my heart. It's just a great video distribution company. Arrow Video released the entire, all the Gamera movies, from the original one in the 60s all the way to Gamera the Brave, in just a massive Gamera collection. That one was like $80, if I recall.
Damn.
And you got more than just the movies. Like, it actually comes with a goddamn graphic novel.
Yo, let's go.
Like it's
cool.
It's sitting on my on my like a little my fireplace right now. It's one of the kaiju set pieces just in my collection.
Yes.
But I consider it a disservice, I think, to Godzilla that Arrow Videos for $80 can give us a collection that gives us a lot of stuff and just all of the movies are like individually packaged, versus Criterion is just like, here's a book. Oh, by the way, the discs in the Criterion thing, even though I didn't have a problem with it, I recognized it would become a problem, so I had to buy a new box for this. But instead of just a little like plastic thing to hold each disc, it's just a little cardboard sleeve.
Okay.
So like,
way to cheap out.
Yeah. And again, this is a $120 thing. Yeah, there's a lot of movies, I guess, but I paid less for a better treatment of, like, how many was it, like 13 movies or some shit for Gamera? I forget it. But I just have to bring that up because if we ever get other Godzilla collections, don't do what Criterion did. Like, I heard a rumor that Criterion's going to try to get all of the Heisei movies from 84 to Final Wars, which, awesome if they do. That'd be a great collection to own. Don't fucking cheap out. Don't fucking cheap out.
Yeah, especially when people, you're going to get something like that, you know?
Yeah. But anyway, I won't go to, like, there's so many kaiju movies I can talk about, but I can talk about some of the stuff on Sci-Fi. I can talk about, like, Gorgo and some of the list of normal ones. But in the interest of time, I'll stop that there, and I guess we'll move on to the wheel.
The wheel.
To the wheel. It's mostly the same this time, with one difference. Instead of Kaiju Films, I took a suggestion from the Discord chat. The one suggestion I saw was pre-Lord of the Rings Peter Jackson. I looked up his filmography, and it might be easier to say non-Lord of the Rings Peter Jackson. Because once he started doing Lord of the Rings, that's almost all he did. So, because he doesn't have... if you include, like, writer, director, and producer credits, which is what I'm kind of thinking of, if you just do his non-Lord of the Rings stuff, which is, like, nothing Lord of the Rings, nothing Hobbit, none of the behind-the-scenes stuff, there's not a lot of new films that cuts out, but but, like, the two notable ones that I feel weird cutting out by just saying pre-Lord of the Rings Peter Jackson is District 9 and Mortal Engines. Like,
I actually watched Mortal Engines fairly recently. We could talk about that.
Yeah, and that
happens.
And if that wins, that is a Peter Jackson movie. And, like, yeah, there's some weird stuff that Peter Jackson did. Definitely, I would talk about it. But it feels weird to just say, like, we know what Peter Jackson's good at. Let's talk about what his less than normal stuff and the success and failures there. So instead of pre-Lord of the Rings Peter Jackson, I just shifted it to non-Lord of the Rings Peter Jackson, because it only adds like 2 or 3 films, really. But yeah, but everything else, like, anime films, 80s horror, older movies you want to see in theaters, which of course not just ones that you missed in theaters, but maybe something that was like from the 70s, 60s, or 70s you never got the chance. Charles Band. There's so much to talk about with that weird guy. I'm leaving him on there. What the fuck did I just watch? I'm sure we could find something to talk about there. and of course peak 90s aesthetic and video game movies. I'm not gonna jinx anything. I'm not gonna like make a guess on what I want to the thing to be.
I am, because you actually secretly put monster movies, so you could actually get around the. No.
Shit, you're right. I'm gonna do it right now. Monster. No, like I'm not gonna like jinx it in any way. Like I got my way in a hilarious way. So I
love that.
That's why it's also why I really want to ask you, like, what topics do you want on there? Holy shit! Like I don't want to be to like drive everything. But anyway, without further,
I will get back to you on that. But yes, we will see what we have now, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Oh! Fuck yeah!
Ain't no fucking way!
It was a meme!
So
Fuck
guess
yes.
what, guys? Charles Band is actually just Kaiju Films 2.
Not Kaiju Films 2.
It's not.
But, and here's the best part. If you want to catch up on the Charles Band stuff, literally his entire filmography, save for I think like one or two things, is on Tubi. So you can just download that and watch his shit for free.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I downloaded Tubi the other day. Like, I already know exactly what 2 or 3 Who would
that's where you go to watch the really fucking shit movies.
The
good bad movies.
The good bad movies. And I know it's a little thing, but like I like watching his movies on Tubi specifically because so many of them are cut for TV. So whenever Tubi breaks for an ad, it feels natural.
Yes.
So, but who could we ask to join us for this? Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Who would even know about Charles Band? Like who would have opinions on really bad or really stupid drug trip of movies?
Well, I could get back to you on that. I might have some ideas.
For context, it's not the movie I'm going to talk about, but not only is he the guy who did for those listening, Charles Band, he has a very long film career. His most notable films is probably like Puppet Master, but he also recently did the weird shit like Evil Bong and fucking Ginger Dead Man. As well as some fairly normal stuff before. Yeah, it's a rabbit hole. You can watch some of this stuff on Tubi if you want to catch up with what we're going to do. Are we good to, I guess, do that on the 28th? That's a fair?
I think we could do that, yeah.
28th. All right, 2 weeks from today, we're going to talk about Charles Band. And if we could
on some films,
and we're gonna go watch his stuff on Tubi. I'm gonna remove him from the list. If there's anything you want to add to our list, any director, actor, or specific thing, join our Discord. Pop a link in there. Just put it in the chat. I am always down for more suggestions. And I know some of them were joke suggestions, but I spoke with Kittyman about it recently. We're open to less than normal episodes. I guess about I know the one that we considered to putting on the list, or just doing, is the Marvel tier list around July.
Yes.
But like doing less than normal stuff like that would be, it's on the table. Like some of the weirder stuff that were suggested, like BP and my brother. I'm not doing Smasher Pass Kaiju Edition.
Damn, no.
Maybe I
did I change your mind?
I would need to be in a very particular mindset to do something like that. I guess I would.
Understandable.
But oh my god, I would have But I'm open to weird stuff. But again, first and foremost, this is about movies. Like if we were to, we could make November just Godzilla month, and in one episode we could do Smasher Pass Kaiju Edition. I'm not making that promise, idea. But want to commit to the wheel for at least a bit longer.
Of course. We like the wheel. The wheel knows all.
Oh, I'm going to ask around, see if we know anybody that knows who Charles Band is. But anyway, thank y'all for listening. We go a long time. This like
we did. Holy shit!
But that's as I said. I was watching the time. I had to stop what I did. But yeah, thank y'all for listening, and we'll see y'all in 2 weeks. I'll be uploading this to YouTube. I would say Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on how long it takes to get everything cut. Because I have to cut the all that starting soon stuff from the beginning there.
For sure.
And do the description. But yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, it'll be on YouTube. See y'all later.
Hey guys, bye-bye.